And not the good kind. Oh, they missed my nuts. Oh, maybe they didn't miss my nuts.
Nobody misses your nuts.
I miss your nuts.
They're great nuts, and we haven't had nuts for 2 weeks.
It's true.
They're great.
Hey everybody, we're Dicey Decisions. This is our Twist of Fate campaign. We are playing through Planescape's Turn of Fortune's Wheel with content from the Book of Many Things and into now Vecna Eve of Ruin, taking this campaign from level 3 at the start all the way to 20. Currently our heroes are level 11. And they have recently solved a case of missing persons in the city of Neverwinter for Daggoth Neverember, recruited them to hunt down some four citizens that were abducted by what they found out to be a cult of Vecna operating in Neverwinter. In their pursuit of this cult, they were able to discern that the cultists were actually attempting to capture and steal secrets from these people and powering some sort of ritual that they disrupted. However, when they disrupted the ritual, not only were the 7 of them shunted into the Shadowfell, but they all gained some strange metaphysical connection to Vecna himself. Upon returning to town, they were rewarded handsomely, not only by the 4 people they saved, but also by the Lord Neverember himself, and they have been gifted with domiciles in the city, deeds to different buildings, and promises of upgrades. So they have been spending their time upgrading these facilities, and we're going to talk about that a little bit in terms of the Bastion rules in the 2024 rulebook. So each of these characters have now created their own bastions, and we did a lot of that work offline. But I'm going to give them each a chance as we're kind of going through everybody and whatnot to talk about it, to kind of give descriptions of their domiciles as well as anything special that they wish to bring up about that. They've come up with hirelings, and it's all been super great. So very interesting what we've been doing in our 2 weeks since our last session. But we now can incorporate that because time is passing here in the city of Neverwinter. And I've warned them about a year's time they have to construct these places and do some research and check on some things. And they all kind of gave me lists. And I've kind of got a bullet list of some of the things that we'll RP through, as well as whatnot. So given all of that, let's see where my list starts. Quinn, why don't you give us a description of your bastion?
Sure. So Quinn has sort of chosen a place on the outskirts of town, sort of a rundown neighborhood, not very many people around, and he has essentially constructed a small replica of the Tower of High Sorcery at Wayreth. So he has essentially created himself the quintessential wizard's tower, with a large workspace and library at the summit, above which his teleportation circle is sort of open to the elements so that he can watch the moon and do some stargazing as he works. Also has a scriptorium, an arcane workshop, all the trimmings and trappings of your standard wizard keep. Yeah, he's got himself a ramshackle tower on the edge of town.
So in that time, in some of this time after the tower was built, you did set about your tasks for your bastion actions.
Did
that you were able to procure if you so wish to spend the gold, because you gave me the everybody gave me what their wish list to do was, but I also want to make sure people want to spend the gold costs if they were involved. So you had asked for your arcane study to produce ideally books that you could lock.
Yes.
So I thought that was a really neat concept. And I think that would fall under an uncommon magic item, similar power to a bag of holding in terms of its magnitude of power. So,
Okay.
so if you wish, you would have had time to create 2 lockable books with an arcane lock spell, which means
Okay.
they cannot be broken into under mundane means. They would only
Fantastic.
be able to be broken into via spells.
That's great.
So each of those would have cost you 250 gold pieces to do.
Okay.
So
Can do that. In one of so both of those books are chained to my waist in place of some of the pouches, and in them, one of them is where I keep my secrets, and the other one has the rituals of Vecna and various and sundry other arcane writings that we've procured over the course of the campaign.
Excellent. And speaking of those secrets, you did want to, in this year's time, go talk to the 2 individuals whose secrets you did not get from the people that you had saved.
That's right. Yes, I had set appointments with both of the researchers, yes, that we had saved.
Great. Let me grab information from that. I think, that's going to be on my other server. So we're going to hand wave that and say you have had those conversations and were able to extract those secrets from the 2 of them. And you have that knowledge, which once I get back to my regular computer next session, I will have those for you. But you have them. You have collected them.
Perfect.
In addition, where did that go? There it is. You also wanted to possibly do some work with getting help with divinations to contact your goddess.
Yes, that's that's right. So with my teleportation circle and my trusty helper Gus, Gus the hedge wizard, I have been inviting experts on divination to come and talk with me and hopefully cast clairvoyance in a way where I can speak with Lunatari. Yes.
And
Just wizard lunch and learns.
Yeah, exactly. Wizardly lunch and learns. That's exactly right.
Nice. So in doing so, you would have had Gus would have had the teleportation circle prepared for you and attempt his very best to follow your orders. However, oftentimes you would find as you came into the teleportation circle, some of the arcane sigils that he had drawn out were wrong or smudged or what have you. So you'd have to go behind him, and he would always be very, very apologetic. I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so very, very, very sorry.
He does his best.
He does his best.
Yes, he does.
However, there is a 50-50 chance each time you would take this action that you would actually be able to contact a wizard that would be able to help you. So give me any die roll. Odd is a failure and even is a success.
69.
So the first week you attempt this, no one answers the call.
Somebody
Too
does.
bad.
Kaylin shows up.
Just says nice and walk away.
Nice.
All right, so I get.
But
I've
you
got
have 4. You have 4 weeks.
I have
so
4 shots at this. So the first one is no dice. There we go. That's 60. All right.
So on your second week, you are able to contact a wizard through the teleportation circle who does meet you for the luncheon that is offered to him, and will be able to cast divination spells on your behalf. I believe it's just any one divination spell of fourth level or lower. So, what would those questions be? Or what spell and what questions?
So the spell is clairvoyance. That is kind of the best spell I can get at that level. And so the first question that I have for Lunatari is, did she make me like this for a reason?
Like what?
Did she make you like this for a reason? Okay.
Give me only innately magical tender.
Ooh.
Is it clairvoyance or is this divination?
The clairvoyance, it is a divination school spell. It is not divination itself. You get 3 questions. I think it's yes, no, maybe, or like a short answer. If yes or no is a little bit
I
restrictive.
think they changed that in 2024.
Did they? I thought I looked
That's
at the most
augury,
recent
not
rule.
clairvoyance.
What is clairvoyance then?
Clairvoyance is like
Clairvoyance.
seeing and hearing far away.
Yeah, you create an invisible sensor within range and a location familiar. But if you can do
Well, then
any third
I
level
did have a spell
spell,
picked out.
Is divination?
Let me look.
Divination's fourth, right?
divination
Maybe it was.
is 5th. No.
Yeah, divination I thought was 5th. I thought there was a 4th level spell that got it.
No, divination is fourth.
Is that the 3-question one? Maybe I have
Yeah.
those confused then.
It is. Contact for good gods. You ask one question about a specific goal, event, or activity. One question, not 3.
1 question.
Then you cast it 3 times, right? You can cast it as many times as you wish.
Well, this guy gives him a free.
Well, yeah, this guy will cast it
casting.
once.
Now he's got 2 more shots to gather possibly 2 more people in the next 2 weeks, right? So is this the first question you want to still ask the same question?
Yes.
Okay. And the wording of your question was,
Did you make me like this for a reason? Basically, did you grant me my powers for a reason other than just being a joke, basically?
gotcha. So the answer comes
She
to
does also have a good sense of humor.
yes, the answer comes to you as a
dirty limerick.
much like the phases of the moon, all are needed, and you most of all.
That's very nice. That's a little ego boost.
Yep. You definitely should feel that. You definitely feel that the answer is very much a strong, a resounding yes. You were created for a glorious purpose.
I'll show those old buddy-duddies at the tower.
Right.
All right. So I will try again for another clairvoyance.
Okay. Nope. No
That's
one
a big no.
that week either.
My last shot.
Don't.
No.
All right.
That's too bad. That's okay.
So you
goes.
do
That's
have
what
that
I
one
say.
answer as of now.
I do, and that's the one I really wanted.
Okay. And then let me look at my list. You wanted to get sending scrolls. You could get 4 scrolls. Your scriptorum could have made 4 scrolls of sending, each at 150 gold a pop.
Okay. I will make 2 of those.
Okay.
Because that pretty much wipes me out of gold.
Okay. And I'm tracking this, and I'll make sure this gets onto your character sheets later.
Yeah, no worries. I will use one of those scrolls of sending in an attempt to contact the Tower of High Sorcery. That's kind of what I made them for.
Right. Yeah, I'll get to that shortly. And then the last of your actions that were related to your Bastion actions was you wanted to have your library do some research. And you said
Yeah.
you wanted to research curses to help your friend Lorelei out, but you also wanted to research about Vecna.
Yes.
Great.
Very much so. Obsessive. So
the way the research action for a library goes is a successful week of research grants you 3 pieces of information. Since you asked for 2 topics, I have 6 pieces of information for each topic. Thought that was about fair. So let me
that seems perfectly acceptable.
Pull that up. Let's see. And if you want any of this to be secret knowledge to just you,
it is
let
all
me know,
secret knowledge, Scott.
and we're gonna make them take their headphones off. So,
Do you want us to take our headphones off right now? Are you giving him the secrets currently?
Well, that's why it's his choice. If he's not going to share them with you, I can do that.
I don't mind if the players hear them, with the caveat that these are not things Quinn is sharing without being directly asked.
Then I'm taking my headset off.
Too.
If you don't want, that you're welcome to do that.
Yep. I'll tag you guys when it's time. All right. So your research on curses. Curses come in a myriad of forms, presaging terrifying tales and distinctive dooms. They can be a result of magic, monsters, or other magical effects. Curses typically provide ominously poetic responses to fateful choices, and the afflictions last until they are alleviated by specific remedies. Some spells might relieve the effects of these curses temporarily, but can't lift them completely. The price must be paid. Curses typically have 3 parts: the pronouncement, the burden, and the resolution. The pronouncement, the first part of a curse, or in basic terms, is the threat. It promises suffering to those who dare to do or have already done a specific offensive act. Some pronouncements can be standing warnings against taking some action, or it could be a declaration sworn out in the moment. So it can be a prefasory, ahead of time pronouncement, or something that happens as the curse is given. The burden. Curse's burden is the effect that causes hardships and suffering to the victim. The burden is often reflective of what caused the curse in the first place, twisting the transgressor's actions against them. Oftentimes, those bestowing a curse choice a burden that most directly impacts the intended target. The burden usually takes effect immediately, often combined with a vague sense of foreboding or a wave of nausea. Depending on the burden itself, the victim might not notice the effect until the situation arises that makes it obvious. The resolution. Sometimes a curse can be ended by making restitution to a wronged party, or reparation if something was stolen or destroyed. The restitution can be declared as part of the pronouncement, or it may be left to those who suffer the curse to make amends on their own. Research and divination can often offer clues or even reveal the exact steps needed to resolve the curse. Minor curses can be removed by simple magical means, such as a remove curse spell. However, more powerful curses are only temporarily suppressed by such spells for a short period of time, typically an hour. A greater restoration spell can typically suppress a curse until the victim wakes the next day. So there's ways to suppress long-term curses, but not necessarily get rid of them until you figure out the resolution.
Got it.
Researching the bestower of the curse might lead to answers to how best to remove it. If the bestower wishes, typically they can dismiss the curse, but rarely do they relinquish their victims. It is unclear whether death of the bestower or death of the victim will remove a curse, as enough research in the matter has not been documented. And this has all been given to you by your newly appointed librarian, the ghost elf Numi, who came back from the Shadowfell. And she says, I didn't know, sir. I thought that being a part of a library would be similar to what I was doing in the tomb and just dusting and tidying, but I'm organizing books and knowledge and information the way I would tidy up. It's like tidying facts. It's exciting.
Good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It probably seems a lot better than just being alone in a tomb. I don't know.
Much so. I am
books are good
thrilled with
company.
the concept of research.
What's your favorite
Great.
animal?
I'm so glad that you're excited to be here. If you weren't, you could just, leave. You're not like stuck here. Feel free to leave at any time, but you're welcome to stay for as long as you want.
Now, I did drag what I just read to you, so you have a story link in Fantasy Grounds. Okay, now on Vecna. So
Cool. Stop taking copious notes then, since you've typed these things up for me so nicely.
Yes. Well, I figured, if it's going to be research and facts, it's just easier for me to do this and then give it to you.
This is much appreciated. I've been looking back across these for some of the other stuff that you've done for this as well, and it's been super helpful to have the notes. So.
Awesome. So this is research on Vecna, and she's compiled these notes as if this is her understanding and whatnot. This one is again top six issues is kind of hard when you're talking about the scope and scale of Vecna in the grand scheme of things. So I kind of pared it down to what she could accomplish in that amount of time and what she knows there's more information about out there, but that kind of thing. So on countless worlds, his name evokes tales of terror and cruelty. Vecna, the undying king, the whispered one, the lord of the rotted tower, the maimed lord, the arch-lich, the lord of the hand and the eye. Vecna forged a kingdom on Earth, but he grew bored with it after several centuries. He started inflicting suffering on other worlds. Vecna has risen to godhood on Earth, but he seeks to become the most powerful god in existence, and it is believed he wishes to bend the multiverse to his will. Evidence of his influence exists through the multiverse. But Vecna had humble beginnings on the world of Earth. Vecna's early life was clouded in legend and contradiction. Most accounts stated that he was originally a human wizard from Earth, although some reports claimed that he was a half-elf. One story tells where an order of wizards used him as a bootback and scribe. He spent the better part of his childhood secretly educating himself in his master's arts. Once he learned all he could, he massacred the wizards. He then recorded his every foul thought and dream as he started to write his Book of Vile Darkness. After having become an extremely powerful wizard, Vecna began to fear for his own mortality. An obsession, some say, was triggered by the death of his mother. Vecna sought to live forever and began his research into immortality, led him to seek undeath. One theory states Vecna was taught by Orcus how to achieve undeath, eventually leading to his becoming one of the most powerful liches in existence. Another spoke of Vecna experimenting upon hundreds of innocent mortals to formulate a ritual to absorb power from the various planes of existence and channel it into his own decrepit body, while a third put forth the idea that the mortal Vecna learned the secrets of lichdom from a being known as the Serpent, believed to have been a personification of magic itself. Regardless of how it began, Vecna's path to become a lich was said to be the first instance of a mortal possessing the willpower to sacrifice their own body for such a feat. In quotes, evil is not an absence of good. It is not a choice. Evil is one of two forces in the cosmos, an agency locked in eternal struggle against its antithesis. Only good and evil exist, and not even a hair's width of space separates them. Quote from Vecna from the Book of Vile Darkness. There is far more information available about Vecna that my time thus far has not allowed me to research, but I am excited and intrigued by this new line of work. It's a lot like tidying up, but with the information and not dust and dirt. Not to mention, it seems somewhat, I don't know, forbidden or something. It's fun.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't talk to anybody else about this. Maybe Sarcelle, but maybe we could probably keep this between us.
Okay, so I shouldn't talk about this or any of it. Like,
The curses stuff is probably fine. I think the stuff about Vecna should probably stay under wraps. It does
while
feel forbidden, doesn't it? It's a little creepy.
while she was giving you this breakdown, you started to feel that connection that came upon you from the time of the ritual. How does that manifest in Quinn?
So since learning Sarcelle's secret, that has basically been all that Quinn can think about. It is absolutely terrifying to him, the thought of a being that can just his powers from the astral plane without him even being there or the being even knowing that it happened. You know what I mean? It was just incidental. Like, this is a horrifying. So basically, every time this connection starts to happen, it is basically Quinn seeing this vision again and renewing his determination to stand against this. This is horrible.
Okay, cool. Everybody can come back. Jack's not looking. Miller's doing something else. Hello. Hello.
I'm back.
Come back.
I just pinged them both.
You lost us.
Yeah, we lost it. There we go. Okay. So you may do with that information what you wish, Quinn, as you want to reveal or not any of that information. It doesn't come to you as a powerful secret per se,
For sure.
but
Totally. Yep.
as far as that goes, right? Because those secrets that gave you guys that power feeling are different than this. But
Sure.
this is
Totally makes sense.
You currently
Yeah.
have. Okay.
This is research, not you can't bastion action your way into like power gaming. So that makes perfect sense.
Right. All right. So I would like to now have I believe there was a desire for Lorelei to seek out Quinn for some advice during this year.
Yes. So Lorelei would go over to Quinn's house. Actually, this is really funny because this is a secret. So
Everybody else has to take their answers off.
so
Ay, Dios
sorry.
mío.
I didn't realize we were doing this right now. I'm so sorry.
Bye, everybody. See you guys.
I love
Get
how
out of here, Jack.
Jack, you gotta go off again.
Okay, so Lorelei would go over to Quinn's tower with just like a poorly baked cookies, just as an attempt of like, I made these things and I need help.
So soggy cookies.
Quinn is So when you find Quinn, he's in his study and he has cast telekinesis, and there are books just basically orbiting him, and he's like floating in the middle of the room, just like with a book in front of him and other books just sort of like floating around him.
Very Doctor Strange of you.
Yeah. So and all the books would just hit the ground. Sorry, I didn't hear you come in.
Yeah, I guess I probably could have knocked.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, I also probably could have like locked my door. So, you know,
Yeah, you live in kind of a shitty neighborhood. You should probably do that.
everybody is terrified of the weird wizard tower for some reason. I can't imagine why. Probably because of the wizard that lives in it.
Little do they know,
If
like you're
only
like
they knew.
the nicest person ever.
I know. If only if they knew, I might have to lock my door because I never get any work done.
Hmm. I brought you cookies. I am trying to learn how to cook.
They look like cookies, and he.
Do you want to try one?
Absolutely.
They're not good.
Quinn will absolutely smile his way through it because he is a Kender and that is what he does.
Perfect. She'll like kind of sit down on the floor and like flip through just some of the books that are around that fell out of the sky and just kind of look at them.
You notice that a book kind of hops off the shelf and it's a recipe book.
Ooh. Can I take this back to my house?
Yeah, I was hoping you might.
Oh, I see. Okay, well.
But no, they were absolutely delicious. It's just that it could be even more delicious. I assume you did not come here with cookies to look at a cookbook though.
No, the cookies were more of a bribe.
Carefully accepted.
I wanted to know if any of the curse research you've found talks about keeping parts of the curse post breaking the curse.
No. There are some things you can do to suppress it. There seem to be some things you can potentially do to get rid of it, but I didn't find anything. I mean, there could be more that we could find, but I didn't find anything about like half breaking a curse. It was kind of like break it or have it.
Okay. I ask
why?
I ask because so pre-curse, I was kind of nobody, non-magical,
So play Brick House.
kind of lived
Oh.
nowhere. And I was hoping, and actually what I'm very, very scared of is that if we do ever break this curse, that I'm going to lose all of my magical ability. And that is terrifying.
That's where your powers come from.
Yes.
Oh, that is a complication. Huh. Well, I guess I probably need to do a lot more reading. But can I tell you something?
Sure.
I think even if you didn't have your powers, you'd still be pretty special. And I also think that you're really great just the way you are. But, you know, I think that whatever you decide to do will be the right thing as long as it's what you want to do. And as your friend, I'll just help you through whatever that looks like. And I can promise you that. So yeah, I don't know if there is a right answer even, you know. I think it might be one of those kind of monumental choice things that we kind of have to make every once in a while. But
is it
I don't know.
bad that I would be willing to stay cursed if I could keep the magic?
No, I don't think that's bad at all. Being magic's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine being what would I do without the magic? Like, you guys, I don't think I could hang out with you guys anymore in like the capacity that I am right now. Like,
It would be maybe difficult to go on adventures, but you'd definitely be able to hang out with, like, I mean, I've got lots of not magical people in my tower. So do you. You could, hang out, but so, um, when Sarcelle told me what she saw, the thing, he was a sorcerer, and now she isn't. And it's
well, she's
because
dead.
she saw. No.
Oh no,
Sarcelle
that's the wrong.
worked
Oh, that's the wrong one.
for me.
The other one,
We
not
saved her.
dead.
She's fine. She works here in my tower. She's perfectly fine, except for the not magical thing anymore. She and I am sharing Sarcelle's secret with you. I don't know if that matters, but
You're releasing a secret?
yeah,
Okay.
Oh
I'm
no,
sharing it with Lorelai.
this was unintended.
Okay.
One good turn deserves it. One good secret deserves another.
Continue talking. I just have to look something up.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Okay.
So when Sarcelle went to the astral plane, she had a vision of Vecna, and there was a flash of light, and she woke up, and she wasn't a sorcerer anymore. She just didn't have her powers. They were just gone. And that is why I've been in this tower ever since, looking for secrets and looking for information about Vecna. That is terrible. I'm I'm the only Kender sorcerer, I think. I'm sort of not supposed to have magic powers, but I sort of do. And the idea of not having them anymore is terrifying to me. So I relate very, very much to that problem. And I think that if putting up with a curse is the price you pay for being who you are, then I say probably worth it.
So, in the moment where you shared that secret, you both felt that connection to Vecna, however that manifests for you. And you also felt extremely powerful and capable, and that you had for the next where is it? For about a minute, you feel like you would be really good at doing anything you chose to do. Read as you have advantage for a minute.
Huh. That's pretty cool. Okay.
This is unfortunate timing, considering
Yeah.
we're not rolling anything.
But now you know what revealing a secret does.
Yeah.
One of those secrets,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess in that moment, discussing what we are and like the feelings Lorelai already has, that connection to Vecna feels like it intensifies the fear of losing her magic. I think like as Quinn tells her the story of Sorcelle waking up and no longer having this magic ability that she's had for so long, that really scares Lorelai. It like intensifies the fear she already has. And so that's how she's feeling. And then when she feels that wave of powerfulness, she's like, I'm gonna go fucking rage bake at my house.
You had your headphones off for this, but that is actually exactly how this manifests for Quinn. Sarcelle's secret plays itself out like behind his eyes, like every time he feels that connection to Vecna. So you and I are like right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so that's basically all Lorelai really wanted to talk to Quinn about at this very moment, was just like her feeling like the insecurities of losing her magic, right? Like feeling like she couldn't hang out with her friends anymore, like go on all these fun adventures or cool adventures. And just feeling scared to break this. Like, she wants to break this curse. There's lots of things about the curse she doesn't like that are like really unfortunate. Like, people are scared to even look at her. Like, generally, just unpleasant moistness. Like, all those things. But the thought of losing her magic is really driving her to not want to break that curse. But she will go back to her tower with her new cookbook and continue to learn to bake.
So give us a description of said tower at this point.
I'll get everybody else back on.
Yep.
First,
Hey, that was easy. That was easy.
Okay, sorry guys. I'll stop talking now.
Yeah, that was my only secret today.
A lot of empty space.
There'll be some of this.
It's a long secret.
I have no secrets to hide.
So Lorelai trucks back to her house. Lorelai's house is as close to the shore of the Bay of Mists as she can possibly get. So basically butting right up against the sand line. As you look at it, the outside of her house is kind of large. She likes a lot of lavish things. But the outside of it gives off kind of a creepy vibe, like what I imagine like a witch cottage in the woods would look like moss, overgrown ivy, those kind of things. But it like feels inviting when you look at it as well. The inside of her home has been decorated with a bunch of gorgeous jewel tones. And then she would also take advantage of Lord Neverember's offer for magical plumbers. She really wants to recreate that bathroom she had at the casino that would magically fill up with water, and then she would be instantly dry as Lorelai can be upon leaving that bathroom.
Right.
In her home, she has a library that is kept by a small male owlin. He wears little round glasses and has just constantly wears like a little graduation mortarboard. He sounds very pretentious when you talk to him. He has lollipops on him all the time, and he just goes by Mr. Owl. Her library itself is like super chaotic. It's stacks of books everywhere, scrolls piled up in random places. And when you looked a little closer, you'd notice that almost every single tome in this library is related to curses, hags, and stealing magic. In a small section of the library, she does have a romance section with books like Tusk Love, Dating for Dummies, and Beauty in the Eye of the Beholder.
Amazing.
Yeah. She also has a workshop that she spends a lot of time in. So the workshop's run by 3 female fairies who all have grease smudges on their face and either wear welder's masks or welder's goggles.
And actually, one of them comes up to you as you're walking through, and it's Lemonfoot. She goes, "We did it! We did it!
What?
We turned that thing into that other thing you wanted. You remember you gave us the stuff and we said we had to make it into another thing? We did it. Look." And she holds up what looks to be a perfect potion of healing.
Ooh.
But it's
you guys got it right. Yeah, you guys got it right this time?
We got it right.
Did you get rid of Oakroot's 3rd foot?
We're working on that.
Okay. Okay, yeah, we gotta do that.
I think they're getting used to it.
I mean, you guys fly. I don't think you need a whole lot of use for your feet.
Not until we're tired of flying, but an extra foot's only going to help you stand up sturdier, right? I guess, maybe.
Wonder if that's cheating in a 3-legged race.
Well, she doesn't have a third leg. It's just an extra foot.
Oh. That's rough, buddy. I thought there was a leg attached to it.
But they'll be fine. We'll figure it out. But look.
Okay.
Here. And then she hands you 4 vials. She said, these 2, now they all look the same, so you got to mark them somehow. But these 2 are those truth serum things you wanted. And these 2 are the pale tinctures you wanted.
Fabulous. And they look, and she'll hold them up
They
and
look
like inspect them.
like potions of healing.
Hell yeah. Do you guys have colored cork?
Sure.
Let's do green in the pale tinctures and purple stoppers in the truth serum.
Got it.
Thanks. And maybe we'll talk to Quinn about the third foot. He might have ideas. So she'll follow Lemonfoot into that workshop. The workshop's pristine. Everything is super organized. It has every single tool that you could imagine. It's got a large work table in the center of the room that has a few schematics laid out, and currently has different leather swatches laid under different shaped blades. And notably, the blades are all of dagger length.
Cool. This was your Bastion action that was combined from your greenhouse who grew the stuff to make the 2 poisons, and then the workshop who manipulated it to look like potions of healing like you wanted.
Perfect.
And that covered the month's worth of actions of those 2 rooms.
Fabulous. So mentioning the greenhouse, her greenhouse is very unsuspecting. There are sunflowers, snapdragons, and marigolds everywhere. Tons and tons of flowers. But mixed within those flowers are a bunch of deadly plants used to make poisons. So tending to the plants is a little puddle of plasmoid. So she kind of just slithers around the garden, doing what she needs to do. But anytime you try to talk to her, she forms into kind of a humanoid outline. If you've ever seen SpongeBob, I was thinking Bubble Buddy from SpongeBob.
So, and my thinking on it is as she's forming, her features are kind of coming into play. So if it's you she's talking to, who she's friends with, she's always smiling and bubbly and happy when she sees you. But it's this weird, creepy looking thing becoming happy, which is even creepier. And then it's her and she looks normal as she can.
Yeah. She's very friendly. She's very funny. And then the last big room in her house is her trophy room. So the trophy room isn't like what you would typically think of a trophy room with stuffed animal heads on the wall. It's very much more I don't know what they call them in rich people houses because I'm not a rich people. But basically a large study with the big grand fireplace and pedestals where you put fancy things on display. So it's got the big giant fireplace with a chair that Lorelai likes to settle down and cozy up in. She's got her light reading history of Baba Yaga right next to her cups of bubbleberry tea. And then on the pedestal, she has things from her various adventures with her friends, like her gem-encrusted scabbard, dried flowers from Uriel's garden, things like that. And just, making his way through the room at a snail's pace is Humboldt Dinderpot, who's an elderly human man who has a cane and a feather duster, and he is just a crotchety old man.
Oftentimes you probably sneak up on him because he's a little hard of hearing.
Mm-hmm.
And he hates being snuck up on, so he yells and gets all irate. But then as soon as he sees that it's you, he changes and says, "Oh yes, it's okay. I was startled. I'm just not as good hearing as I used to be. But can I help you with anything?
I gotta pull up stuff. But can't remember what I asked him to do. Oh, in the trophy room. Oh, I'm looking for information on Baba Yaga, and I point to the history book. Looking just for anything else that we have in here. Also interested in the crevices of dusk.
Well, I thought you might be interested in those kind of things and whatnot, because you had mentioned that before you left. But your buddy there in the library, the owl guy with the good candy.
Mm-hmm.
I was speaking with him, and I think he might be better at those things. But then he said you wanted to know about Lord Neverember, and I can find out lots of stuff about Lord Neverember.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm here to tell you what I know about Lord Neverember. Do you want these people to know or not?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I think this one's fine.
So he says, well, Dagult Neverember is a wealthy lord protector of Neverwinter. He was formerly an open lord of Waterdeep as late as the 15th century. He is a member of the Lord's Alliance and one of the most powerful and well-respected men in the entire Sword Coast. Now, he's a consummate politician. He's capable, inspiring leader who's known to be brave and stately in the face of opposition. He outwardly embodies the ideals of moderation, honesty, and responsibility. He always acts decisively and firmly with a clear-eyed view of the costs and sacrifices that his decisions entail, although his cunning and brutal pragmatism has earned him the nickname Dagger Neverember. He is also ambitious, proud, and he's going to go on and on and on and drone about this guy for a while, because you actually asked one question for 4 weeks. So you got 12 pieces of information about Dagult Neverember, and I have a whole research thing here that I will share with you.
Fabulous. I would like his social security number as well.
So I shared that with you, and he goes on and on. There is some interesting information in there. You can read that at your own time.
Perfect.
But the other 2 questions you had asked or Mr. Owl would have taken over on that, because it was more book research kind of thing, which was about Baba Yaga and the crevices of dusk. So Baba Yaga, we'll start there, is an extraordinarily powerful mage and archfey. Some describe her as the most powerful female mage ever known. A sorceress with a reputation for passing throughout the planes. In doing so, her magical hut also appeared elsewhere and was reported to have arrived on Faerun. A 5-foot-tall sorceress is said to be of godlike intelligence, but very physically ugly. She has a long, warty nose, a skeletal frame, and thin white hair. She has sharp, iron-like teeth and fingers that curve into claws. On occasion, she has a rather plump frame. It was uncertain whether her changing frame was due to having recently eaten or simply on a whim of preference. She is known to have a fickle nature, being dangerously unpredictable, equally as likely to eat her worshippers as she is to aid them. Politeness does not guarantee her favor, nor does rudeness ensure incurring her wrath. She is willing to offer people some of her secrets in return for another. The bargains she offers people are also far more dangerously worded than those of any fae. When not traveling around the multiverse, she and her hut reside within the Feywild, in a swamp known as Merkendraw. Many types of hags are also known to inhabit this swamp. Baba Yaga knows of many realms and has probably even visited them. Baba Yaga has 3 hag daughters named Skabatha, Bavlonia, and Endolin. She also helped to raise 2 humans, Kostichi and Igwilf. The former went on to become very well known on Toril, whilst the latter was mainly heard of on the world of Earth and became a powerful archfey herself. It is also believed that she is the surrogate mother of Lord Strahd von Zarovich of Barovia in the dread realm of Ravenloft in the Shadowfell. Gathered from reports by both Elminster and Volo, Many sages and adventurers are known to have sought her out for her vast knowledge of magic. It is believed that Archfey respect her powers, but are very cautious. Her relationship with deities is similarly fickle, though she tends to associate with those of an evil alignment, as well as those who are tricksters or mischief makers. She has also been known to associate with devils and enjoys the worship of many night hags, green hags, and anise hags.
I didn't know that bit about Strahd. That's cool.
Yup.
I'm sure it won't come up.
We've already met Strahd's wife.
Who's this weird-looking guy behind me?
And then the Crevices of Dusk. Crevices of Dusk are magical phenomenon that connected a point in Neverwinter to the same point in Evernight, and vice versa. They appear anywhere throughout Evernight, but only appeared in places of darkness or shadow within Neverwinter. Under most circumstances, it is only possible to see or reach through a crevice, but not to travel through it. Even so, it was not unheard of for travelers to pass through one, whether intentionally, by accident, or after having been dragged through by a monster on the other side. Such crevices are the primary source of food for the undead citizens of Evernight, namely by snatching away living citizens of Neverwinter. While it is said that there were countless crevices throughout Neverwinter and Evernight, they tended to open unpredictably and only for a short time before changing location randomly. In some cases, rituals or misfired magic might cause a latent crevasse to open. Although rare, there also existed stable and permanent crevices of dusk, which appeared as swirls of silvery purple energy. Such crevices usually occurred within catacombs, tombs, coffins, abandoned buildings, back alleyways, unused cellars, or even dark corners of uninhabited homes. Crevices of Dusk are not widely known or understood in Neverwinter and are commonly sources of ghost stories and urban myths relating to hauntings and mysterious disappearances. Some of Neverwinter's scholars, such as Eldon Keyword, which is one of the people you saved, seems familiar with them and their nature, and they are, of course, perturbed by their use. Within Evernight, indiscriminate use of the Crevice of Dusk is frowned upon, and stable crevices are jealously guarded.
Nice.
So
Okay.
Information you have gained from that.
Lorelai hears Mr. Howell talk about that last the last couple bits about like potentially there being permanence of some of the rifts or crevices, and that the citizens of Neverwinter are using those to eat people. And I was like, we should put out some cones. Just some caution tape around the area.
Nice. Awesome.
Cool. Yeah, other than that, she spends the rest of her year kind of just going through into her workshop and is working on making a very ornate, beautiful blade dagger, and enchanting it with some magic.
Yep. Not a problem. You're able to complete that project with no problem in this time frame. You also mentioned inviting Vora over.
Oh yeah, for a sleepover.
Yeah.
I was very excited to get the invitation.
Yes, I did not invite any of the other people. I just wanted to have a girls' night. And so like Lorelai will grab the cookbook she got from Quinn's house, and we'll try to make like different hors d'oeuvres and stuff from the cookbook for their sleepover. She'll do a bunch of research in the library with Humboldt and be like, okay, what do people do at sleepovers? And just like start planning little activities and invite and
No, Scott, really,
Lorelai
what do
over.
people do at sleepovers?
I heard they touch butts.
Well, Vora will have gone out into her fungi garden and grabbed a couple of specimens that she keeps hidden and puts them in a little container and takes them over. And she just will take, as they're kind of dried, and she will, when you're not looking, she will sprinkle a couple of these mushrooms on top of some savory looking hors d'oeuvre for us to eat.
Is Vora roofing me right now?
You're getting psychedelics.
We're going on an adventure.
I don't think this is what people do at sleepovers.
This Vora is
You
a
got
lot
more
more fun than
sleepovers.
the other Vora. So.
Enough of this it's a proper dosage enough to send an elephant on a trip. Vora, I've had 7. Why didn't you say anything?
Bora, I've had 1. I feel it.
No, it's nothing like that. It's just they're silly shrooms. So that's all.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
That's the name of something that would send you for 2 days.
Exactly what I like.
As someone who doesn't do drugs, I don't know what silly shrooms mean.
Bad.
Yes, you do.
Where I'm from, we don't even consider them that. This is just, it's food. It's happy food.
It's just flavor.
Yeah.
It is very earthy. I do
Yes.
quite like the flavor, even though I didn't see you put them on my food.
And there's not very much, just the tiniest little pinch. And we're giggling a lot.
Psychotic.
I love to giggle.
Yeah,
She doesn't like to giggle at all. She doesn't really, she's like so this entire interaction is actually plays really well into everything else Lorelai wants to do in her year. She like really likes being silly. I think Lorelai like gets the sillies and is just like, oh, this is really fun. Like I feel less stressed. I don't care about my curses and ailments.
We're just a couple of gals giggling and eating hors d'oeuvres.
We should like how would you word this, considering I don't think doorbells exist? We should like try prank sending. Have you ever tried that?
No, but let's. I could also send Guinevere into their rooms to do crazy things. My fox. She's
To
very
Vecna,
stealthy.
is your refrigerator running?
Hey, Vecna, you up?
Is your refrigerator running? You can respond to this message.
Vora sees excuse me, Lorelai really getting into this more than she expected, and she starts to panic just a little bit, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done this. But we keep it under control. Mostly.
Excellent.
Lorelai puts Magic Mouth in her spell storing item and runs around town. Oh, I can't put it in there. Never mind. I'll just prepare it then, because fuck it. And she's gonna go to each, like, as they're like being silly, just go to like the nearest friend's house. I don't know which one of them is probably closest, but go to their house and like leave a message like right by their front door. Trigger condition is met. So she'll set the trigger condition as when they leave the front door. And what 25 words do I want to leave?
I assume you're getting all of us with this.
I think that we should make all of them go to each other's houses, like.
Oh, Magic Mouth is just like
like send Cal to somebody's house while somebody else is going to someone else's house. Nobody will be home because everybody's gone to everybody else's house.
And
we can just laugh.
I'll do that.
I love the scenario where everyone's out of town and one person keeps getting sent to everyone's house because they're the only one triggering the effect.
So Vora and Lorelai will just run around, and Lorelai will just keep casting Magic Mouth like out onto like a rock in front of their houses, and when they walk past the rock, it'll be like, Cal wants you to come over to his house, and all that, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
How many times before we start getting the idea that we're being pranked?
I can
because
Only
I'm sure
the one
you're
night.
gonna
We're
do
only
it. Oh,
we're only
it's
high
one night.
once.
Right?
Okay.
For
I thought you
now.
were doing this throughout the year.
No, just the,
No,
the
no,
one
no.
sleepover.
Lorelai
night.
might.
Just
Just one sleepover for now.
I might have given her some ideas. Sorry, guys.
So given that, a soul, you walk out of your door one day and you are told by a magic mouth that Calistrick wants to see you right away.
I didn't know Calistrict had the capability to do this. Oh, okay. And Soul will make his way quite hastily because he feels like this could be a kidnapping situation. Like, how the hell did Calistrix leave me a magic mouth?
And you make your way over to Calistrick's compound.
I will take my gauntleted fist and just bang on his door.
I'm probably not home.
He's been sent to Kaylin's house.
If you're not home, hold on.
You want to roll for it?
Let's set the narrative here.
No. If you're not home, I'm trying to figure out who would answer the door.
Nobody's inside. Oh, it could be one of my trainers, but
Yeah.
Yep. So, a ancient turtle that his skin is so either dry or wrinkly or both that it is white and no longer tortoise green. And his shell is like even flaking. Opens the door. And it looks like he's looking past you.
My fellow infected friend, where is your master Calistrix?
Infected?
You look like... No? You haven't been bit? Your skin is as white as mine.
You have been bit?
This is not important. Where is Calistrix?
I don't know. He's not here. He's rarely here these days.
Do you know anyone who would have left a magic mouth asking me to come check on him? It's
We can't.
you. I think it might cut out.
What's a magic mouth?
It's a way of magical communication.
If you don't know, buddy, you ain't living.
So you don't know where he is.
No, he doesn't tell us when he leaves. He just goes. Are you here to train or not?
No. I need to find him. And what spells would I have? How far apart would you say we live? Just in general, all of us.
a mile or so. I'm just
probably.
right outside town.
I'm actually right next door to him, so.
I'm right at the heart of the city.
Well, Vora, you hear in a thaumaturgic voice me calling out for Caitlin, or not Caitlin, Calistrix, as I walk around town.
You see
Trumpeting.
Vora in the greenhouse looking out the window, just trying really hard not to laugh. And she's like, and turns and goes away.
So,
Is this the day we have to bail a soul out because of the causing a disturbance in Neverwinter?
you are unable to find him and eventually either give up on said thing or make your way to somebody else's house. When you get to their front door, you hear a magic mouth tell you, quick, go to a soul's house.
Immediately when that happens, I start beelining it to Kaylin's house.
Yes, no one would ever suspect me.
Perfect. You make it to Kaylin's house.
Without even knocking, I throw the door open. You face son of a bitch!
Hold on. Kalen doesn't have a house. He has a series of wagons.
Fair.
Give us a description.
So Caitlin actually purchased a plot of land on the far side of town where he uses his newly acquired spell of plant growth to make it completely overgrown with vines and trees and flowers at all times. And in the center of said area are 4 carnival wagons in bright pinks and greens and oranges, in a half circle with a bonfire in the center, where his troop, for lack of better term, live and run a gambling den out of one of the wagons. Out back is a large acrobatic training area with targets and trapeze and tightrope. There's an armory that is stocked with hundreds of daggers that are constantly being sharpened and polished by a silver dragonborn who does cross stitch in her spare time. And this place is actually called the Fairy Ring. So yes, the center wagon is Kalen's, and the door swings open, and Kalen's in his little heart boxers. What?
Why would you prank us like that? You had me worried.
I need you to be more specific.
You probably hired Gil to put magic mouths all around at each of our houses to tell us to go check on the other people.
Maybe.
What do you mean, maybe?
There was a lot of drinking.
Kaylin, you get a sending. So about that infinitely inflating whoopee cushion you wanted me to make you. Were you serious about that, or?
Not now, Gil. Did I have you cast Magic Mouth on Aesol's door recently?
Okay, so I cast sending again. No. That's it.
My response out loud is, could you?
I cast sending again. Yes, that's it.
It wasn't ill intent, and it seems no one's in trouble.
Well, I still don't know where Calatrix is.
He comes and goes as he pleases. He's out exploring and living his life.
He has 24 hours.
Before what?
Before I turned this world upside down finding him.
That seems a little excessive.
Upon hearing this argument, a very pudgy human male comes walking over and looking. And looks at Kaylin, just kind of nods like that.
Thumbs up. It's all good.
He just walks away. Never says a word.
Is that your security?
Yes. We don't know his name because he can't talk.
He can't or he won't.
He has not thus far spoken a single word.
And you have tried communicating with him.
Oh, we talk all the time. We play cards. He's really good. He's a really good listener. Now, I have to ask, are you able to plane shift?
No. Where are you trying to go?
I want to head home. I want to check in on the Feywild. I miss the feeling of the magic.
Unfortunately, I do not have the abilities. I can get you home, but I cannot get you back.
Tempting.
I would rather you stay here. All things considered.
No, I love you all. Just, homesick.
I understand.
This whole magic mouth thing has really started pulling at my heartstrings.
Oops.
You know what this world needs is a little more mirth. You should come gambling.
No.
I think you'd be really good at it. You have a very stoic face and are a good liar.
I am not a good liar and
Oh, I know.
would probably just get angry when you lie to me.
With a very, very stoic-looking dwarven woman comes around the corner with a wheelbarrow, pushing bags in the wheelbarrow, and she goes, "I have last night's winnings, sir. Where would you like them put?"
Make sure that everyone gets their pay. And put an extra. Let's throw a party. Let's put all that towards a party.
Excellent.
We're gonna celebrate. Hey, so when's your birthday?
I don't know the name of months, and
Guess what? It's your birthday. We're gonna throw you a birthday party. Go invite everyone. Don't use magic mouth.
Oh, okay.
You should start out by going to Gabe's house.
Does that mean I have to find Calistrix?
I mean, if he really cared about your birthday, he would be here.
Ooh.
Damn. Sol kind of hangs his head down and just starts walking away.
All right, so I'll take this time to go over the bastion actions for Kalen's bastion. You wanted to stock up an armory, buy and sell goods out of your storehouse. The gambling den is obviously designed to make a bunch of money, and it actually covers the costs of all of that stuff. So within 1 month, you cleared, after paying for the stuff you bought, and then the profit from selling it, and after stocking your armory, you gained 735 gold pieces and 2 silver.
All right.
That's a hell of a birthday
Thank
party.
We're actually throwing the party. Birthday party is the name of my trunk in my bed.
Right.
Right.
I should have designed my bastion better at the cost center.
I also wanted to, throughout the year, yes, go to the Feywild just to venture, but most of my time when I'm not pretending to be this carefree go-getter, I would actually like to do some espionage. I want to counterintelligence on our group. I want to find out what people are saying about us.
And when you say people, who are you trying to find out about?
Thieves guilds, adventuring, like taverns and stuff. Any reputation that we have in the neighboring villages, towns, or big cities. I just want to kind of get my ear to the ground. to see, make sure that we're not picking up bad vibes.
Gotcha. So what I'm going to call that is an investigation check, but using charisma.
I will allow it.
How generous.
Does this have all my bonuses? Okay, so twice my proficiency would be 8. And I get to add my wisdom to all my charisma checks, so that's another 3. Just a 15.
Okay. So you definitely can find out like the hubbub around a lot of the adventurer type taverns and whatnot in town. And there's, discussion about how, Daggalt Neverember seems to have a new group of favorites and whatnot. And, there's rumors that you hear that this new group of adventurers, apparently rescued some muckety mucks that were important, yada, 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 that kind of thing. No one's talking bad about you. It's more about Neverember, honestly, what you're finding out. Like, and it's one of those things that, like, you could tell that some of this information is some other adventurers are jealous that you got the gig that they wanted, kind of thing. But there's no ill will towards you all directly, and no one with no one in that circle is like paying attention to you all in a very specific or nefarious way. It's more about just the general rumor mill kind of thing.
And then, just as a notation for the rest of the party, because of which hand did Vecna lose? Was it right or left?
Left, I think. Right?
Left, I believe.
I believe it's the left.
That yeah, left hand. So Kalen's left arm, as brightly colored as the rest of his outfits are, all of the left arms are white or black.
Okay.
They still have patterns on them, but the left arm is just white or black.
Gotcha.
Or some shade of gray, but no color.
Excellent. And that's a change.
Yes, that is something that has recently happened since our most recent adventure. Before, like, as this year's been going on, all of his outfits and things are modified to be the left arm is colorless.
Gotcha.
And that would be my manifestation of that connection.
Cool. Excellent. You would be able to go to the Feywild. You would have figured out the resources necessary to go and to get back. And it was just more homesick kind of visit, spend some time in lands that feel more comfortable to you, or was there anything else specific you wanted to do?
The majority of it is literally laying in Feywild grass, like soaking up the natural magic, just because my subclass is Fey Wanderer, so it all comes from that Fey magic. There would be a point where I would go seek out a hag, though.
Okay, so while you are there, one of the things you notice is that connection to Vecna follows you.
Mm-hmm.
So it transfers planes because you felt it in the Shadowfell and you felt it on the Prime. Now you have proof you're also feeling it here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that doesn't disappear or diminish in any way, shape, or form. So that connection still exists for you as well. And then you want to go find a hag. You probably know many.
Yeah.
from the circle.
Just finding a hag and paying them 250 gold for information relating to waterborne curses.
Oh, okay. Let's see. A hag would probably rather trade something other than money.
What did you have in mind?
Children.
I think information of a delicate nature might be of service.
Well, I'm trying to free a friend of this curse.
Ah. Do you know who cast the curse?
I don't. And she's had it for a while, and we believe it may originate somewhere in some Fey magic. And to be honest, if you could transfer the curse to me, I would take it.
Interesting. I don't know that I could undo a curse done by someone else. It wasn't me, I assure you. I don't dabble in watery-based curses. It's not my shtick. But oftentimes a curse is given that might make the intended target embarrassed. You say the curse you're speaking of is water-based. Is this person...
She's just always wet. Damp.
Ah. Was she the intended target of this curse, or did she stumble upon something she shouldn't?
That information is classified.
Well, maybe if you tell me, I'll give you my answer then.
She was poking around in things she shouldn't have.
Okay, well, my guess is whoever put that curse out there put it with the intent that if someone were to be wet all the time, it would affect their ability to be effective, or their maybe it was somebody rich and powerful that is a politician, or someone important, or of self-importance anyway, where if they were wet all the time, it would be hard to maintain an aura of public presentation, as it were. So a hag probably put that kind of a curse on someone, whether it was your friend or whoever the intended person was, with the goal to make them not appear as put together or as well received in public. I imagine your friend gets some weird looks from time to time.
Occasionally. And it bothers me. She's been my closest friend for a very long time, and we've traveled the plains, and I think it's time that her curse has run its course. So if you can't transfer this curse, I would be willing to sacrifice some part to get the information on who can transfer that curse to me.
Well, in order to answer that, and I will be very honest with you, because you are kindred spirits here, I would need to meet her and see this curse myself.
She doesn't know I'm doing this.
Well,
I'm kind of in love with her, but I'm willing to give that up if it takes away the curse. Is that strong enough? Apparently.
She
The
says,
god
well,
said yes.
He says, well, you know, people do silly things for love all the time.
It's true.
I would happily transfer her curse to you if I am able, but I would need to see the curse manifest.
Mm-hmm. I'll see if I can get her to come visit the Feywild. She's been here before, so maybe we can get that done. And she deserves a happier life, and I've gotten enough joy out of mine. I can take a little misery.
That is very sweet.
It's more, I recently died, but not, and I'm kind of in this. Sorry, I feel like I should pay you for being a therapist, but
Oh, I'm being paid right now. Don't worry.
So a part of me or a version of me died, and I felt it, and I've internalized it. And it's fascinating because I don't remember, or I didn't have a chance to experience an afterlife, and I don't know what Feywild creatures do for an afterlife. Most of my friends, when they die on other planes, just come back. They show back up here.
Perhaps the same is true for you.
But I don't want to die to find that out. But I already died, and I just became another. It's really complicated.
Death is just another step in the journey.
Yes and no. You see, I have this friend. Anyway, Asol. He's technically dead, but still alive.
He's been granted undeath of sorts.
Yeah. He also sleeps hanging from the ceiling. It's a whole thing, and it's really uncomfortable to see an elephant do that.
He's an elephant.
He's a loxodon. He's got the trunk just kind of flopping.
Ah. I have some interesting friends. A cursed paramour, a undead.
Oh, there's 7 of us.
Loxodon. Oh. Well, you should bring the whole group next time.
Yeah, maybe I should. I won't get into it right now until we can get a better idea of what's going on. But the focus should be this whole curse. I'm getting way ahead of myself. Now that I think about it, I probably shouldn't have said a lot of what I just did.
I have that way with people, dear.
What's the worst that can happen? It was a pleasure talking to you, and I'll see if I can bring her by, and we can do the old switcheroo, and yeah, I'll bring the whole crew. I think you'd be really good for us. We could really use some couples counseling, group therapy. We should have a group. We're a very dysfunctional family.
You're gonna turn a hag into a therapist?
Have you ever cast Magic Mouth on someone to send them to someone else's house as a prank?
I haven't yet. That's brilliant.
I know. They came over to me saying I did it, and I haven't yet, but I need to get a... Can you sell me a wand of Magic Mouth?
Unfortunately, that is not within my purview, but if I find a way to get you somehow the ability to cast it, we can figure that out.
Sure, you can find me at the Fairy Ring in Neverwinter.
Excellent.
We run a gambling den. You'd fit in great.
I would. People gamble with me all the time.
Oh, they would love you there.
Oh boy.
I'm trying to make it its own little pocket of the Feywild on the Prime Material Plane. I have plants growing and flowers, and it's just really nice. So maybe you could set up shop. Everyone always needs a good potion or lotion.
Oh, yes, I'm an expert at those.
Yeah. Well, See you later.
Good day.
I think I broke Sean.
He's been as fun to watch as you are to listen to. It's kind of
The expressions on his face as I just kept talking were great.
Can't believe you just talked to Baba Yaga and didn't even ask her name.
I have fantasy name generator up right now because I thought he was going to ask as he was leaving. But I'm writing it down because I found a good one.
There we go.
It's not Slagathor, is it?
Nope.
The Throngler.
Scabatha.
Miller, your sister has a new nickname.
What, the Scabatha or the Throngler?
Scabatha.
Because honestly, I don't know which one would be scarier.
Okay, so Kalen has had his trip home. We can decide if you want to try to convince Lorelai or any of the others, or any of the others to go back with you. In the meantime, however, Calistric,
Hi.
You had a desire to go and take some vision quest moments and meditation moments. Describe what you would do with those.
Okay. Well, part of it was that I was going to look for odd jobs that Lord Never, Ember, or anyone else was looking like. They're bandits outside of town. Go take care of them, that type of thing. But in that time, I would have gone out and tried to experience nature as sometimes as an animal, if I could get Gil's help to turn me into one. Sometimes just observing, and a lot of times I would ask Vora to come with me, and we would have competitions sneaking up on things and touching like a sleeping bear or whatever, and then getting away with it. And we have been able to do quite a lot of that. And currently she's leading me because she can turn into things, which gives her quite the advantage. But in my meditations, and this is strictly meditation, when I'm not going on a ramble, don't have a job to do, several times over this year, as I've cleared my mind and am focused on my breath, I find myself somewhere else, looking over the left shoulder of a creature, a being, not a creature, a being of immense power. This being doesn't really know I'm there. He almost knows I'm there. I can feel it seeking me, and most times it startles me right out of my meditation, but a couple of times I've leaned into it and gone with it. What does that look like?
You want me to say, or do you want to say?
I want you to say.
So you're leaning in specifically to what?
I'm to the vision or dream that I'm right over the left shoulder of Vecna.
Okay. So this is you're connecting to your manifestation with him.
Right.
Gotcha. So
this is the only way that we ran into these Vecna cultists. We started feeling weird things. This is the only connection I've had. Like a few times over a full year, I have been in the room or in a place with this god.
Okay. You would have the overwhelming sense of secrecy. And as things moved in front of your vision and came into the room, you would not be able to make out their form. They would go blurry in your vision. And as they would begin to speak, you might catch syllables, but never full words.
Okay. It's all veiled. Got it.
All veiled.
So I don't mess with it too much. Once I realize that I'm not going to get anywhere, I do talk to other people about it. Specifically, of course, I always talk to Vora and let her know. But I go to little brother. And I mentioned this to him a couple times, saying, little brother, I've been in the space where this creature, the Vecna, is. I feel him. I am just next to him, but I learn nothing. What do you make of this?
Well, I've been feeling kind of weird too. I think I don't really know what to make of it either, other than, I mean, it's just a lot, right? It's a lot. It's I don't know. I get the sense that we're probably not even big enough for him to notice, which is kind of worse in a lot of ways.
Excellent. You're saying ignore it. I love that advice.
No. Well, I mean, if your answer to things that are beyond your control is to ignore them or to just sort of roll with them, then yeah, probably do that.
What else can I do?
Nothing really. Probably.
Excellent. I am able to ignore this. Yes. So when it happens next, I shall wake up. I shall leave my meditation.
Right back. I kind of hate it, like a lot. I feel like a whole lot.
Yes, it is uncomfortable.
It is,
but it is something
extremely
new.
uncomfortable.
I found it to be new and perhaps interesting, but then I get nothing more, and so I will forget about it. Thank you. Hey, next time I want to be a hummingbird. I love that so much.
Can do. No problem. Happy to turn you into a hummingbird. Anytime. Just give me a little notice because I'll need to save some of the energy that I need to actually do that. I've been casting a lot of spells lately.
How about next Tuesday? Will next Tuesday work?
Next Tuesday? Yeah, probably. He like kind of looks around for a calendar. What is today?
I don't know. What is today? Do you have a? I think today is Saturday.
It's okay. Saturday. All right. So 3 moon. Yes. Okay. We can probably do that. I think I should be available.
All right. I will come early. I will wake you up. We will meditate, and you will cast the spell before you waste all of your magical powers.
Yes. Waste it. That's what I'm doing. I guess any use of it that doesn't turn you into a hummingbird is probably a waste. So
it's all about experience, my brother, as you know.
Yep. I got a surprise for you, and he will lead you kind of out of the shadowy, sort of chained up section of his library, and there is a shelf full of new volumes of poetry that you hadn't read before. So feel free to take any that you like.
Oh,
I got them just for you.
Would you mind if I read them here? It is quiet.
He kind of like gestures, and there is like again a small section of the library. A lot of it is sort of shadowy. Quinn's library is a whole lot less inviting than you remember it being the last time he had a library. But there is a very small, cozy section right next to a window with a lot of very natural light and some cushions on the floor, just like you like them, where you can sit and meditate and read. And kind of away, again, very much away from some of the other shelves, which are over here.
Locked and chained and everything else.
Yes, locked and chained. And you also sort of notice over the year that Quinn's beads and the baubles that he had in his top knot have been replaced with keys of various sizes and locks, and so he definitely has sort of changed his aspect a little bit. He is a little bit less he's still very bright and very open and very friendly and cheerful, but you get the sense that he's sort of holding a lot back.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So as usual, when I leave, I just step up on one of the window ledges of your tower and just step right off and fall to the ground.
Excellent.
Just because I can.
Excellent.
Yeah. So another thing that I've been doing is occasionally when I'll find things on my travels, I'll bring everybody trinkets and leave them at their homes. And so I've gifted everybody a couple things here and there. After a few months of setting up my home, I lost interest completely and started traveling. And I try to get all of you to come with me from time to time, but some of you have time to do that and some of you don't.
When you do finally stop back in at home after some of your lengthy travels, you find that they have stockpiled some items for sale and made a bunch of purchases and a bunch of sales from your workshop. Your garden created healer's kits that also got sold. And everything else, and you end up with a net gain of 1,000 gold pieces.
Wow. Well, I just give it all to them because I don't need money, and I disperse it among all of my employees, as it were, but they're really just working for themselves now.
And then when
worker-owned collective,
when you make it home, the 4 artisans that staff your theater come up to you and they say, "Sir, we are ready. We have the play that you requested ready. Are your friends going to join us?"
If they are invited, certainly they probably will, I assume.
We're hoping they will perform in it.
Really? Did you send them the invitations and give them their scripts, or?
Well, we were waiting for you to return before we did that because we weren't going to have opening night of this brand new play without you.
How many days will they need to prepare?
Oh, just one.
Oh,
Small
just one.
role.
Okay, get them involved. Certainly. Do you need me to ask them, or will you do it as you usually do?
If you want us to send invitations, we will gladly do that. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Excellent. Would next Friday be a good day for this?
Perfect. I will go ask Vora.
Okay.
You may ask the rest. So I'm going to walk
they begin writing invitations out.
Perfect.
And each of you, except for Vora, end up getting a handwritten invitation to Calistric's place for a play on a certain Friday night, and to arrive promptly at 4 p.m. for an evening performance.
I do tell them to make it mandatory, because I know some of them just won't show up.
Right. Fair enough.
Looking at you, Gil. Looking at you.
Gil shows up.
I wasn't thinking about Gil.
You said you were going to go to Vora's, so why don't you
go
to Vora's?
So Vora and I meditate in my garden, which is just between our homes, I have a meditation garden, and it also has a bunch of herbs that my gardener tends to and turns into healing kits and stuff like that. But yeah, I go walking across the meditation area, and I know she knows when I show up, so I don't have to knock or anything. I just sit down and start meditating until she comes out. I'm sure she's got a million little plants that will speak to her as soon as someone's anywhere near.
And yeah, I do walk out, and I'm immediately bombarding him with, those little vitamin juice shots you can buy, little things.
Yeah.
I bring those out every day when he's there to meditate. He hasn't been there for a while, and I've been a little irritated, and I can sense when he's lacking energy, or he's lacking focus, or he's lacking whatever. And so I come out with a tray of them, and I just sit down in front of him and go, "You've been gone long enough. You need all of this." And I just sit back and wait.
I must be severely lacking. Thank you.
So
Now, what shall I drink first?
It doesn't matter. Just drink it all.
All of them.
Yep.
Very well. How many are there? A whole tray full?
There's like 14 of them.
After like 5, I'm like, are you sure this is... And I'm starting to get giggly. Are you sure that I need to keep drinking all of these?
No, just take them with you and throughout the day. There's nothing in them that you're just being silly. You're just silly.
Are they capped, or are they just going to fall all over when I pick up the tray?
Oh, no, they have corks.
Oh, okay. So there were no magic mushrooms? I'm disappointed.
Yeah, no. We've
Okay.
already done all of that. I don't need to do that to you now, so.
Avora,
Yes.
my actors, my writers are performing a play, and they request your attendance on Friday.
Oh, Guinevere loves to watch plays. We'll be happy to come watch.
Everyone is invited, and we will have a party and feed people and drinks and etc.
Okay, so what time does it start so I'm not late? I don't want to miss the performance.
I do not know. I will be here. I will tell you. It starts probably at evening as usual. They start all of them at evening. I'm not sure why. They don't seem to need sleep unless it is daylight.
Will we be sitting on the front row or back in the shadows?
Whatever you choose. You could sit on the roof.
I like the shadows, thank you.
I'm afraid to tell you this, so perhaps I won't. Yes, Friday is good.
Very good.
I better tell you, or it will be... They need you to do something. You are invited to... I'm not sure. You'll speak to them. They would like... When you have a moment, come on over to...
Me? Spit it out.
I don't know. They wrote the play, and they said they would like for all of my friends to be part of it, and but not me. Apparently.
Part of it? Are they wanting us to be in it?
I do not know. Maybe you just need to sing a loud song.
No.
Maybe you just need to dance.
No. Again, no.
Maybe you need to perform magic on stage.
No. I'll talk to them later.
Of course. Now, do you know that these meditation dreams that I told you about are still happening?
And
it has been 5 times now.
What are you doing in them? Are you waking yourself up, or are you trying to figure it out?
Most of the time I have jolted awake, but 3 times now I have tried to pay closer attention. Is there... And I cannot see anything. It is all shrouded and misty. But he is there, and I believe he is getting close to noticing me. Have you experienced anything?
No.
How does your connection with Vecna manifest?
You're talking to me?
Yes.
Oh. Vora has been with the exception of the sleepover invitation and the hanging out with Cal, she's very much been a homebody and very secluded and tried to stay away because she has realized that she is very intrigued with almost to a criminal level with secrets about anybody she can get her hands on. And she knows that she doesn't have any secrets with Cal. Cal knows absolutely everything. There's nothing about her, except he doesn't know this. And even not telling him about this feels wrong, but she feels like she has to keep a secret from him too. And after she went to Lorelei's, and she brought those mushrooms as a way to try to avoid it, to the silliness that maybe that would but it ended up being a whole nother secret again. And so she was like, I'm trying to escape all of these secrets. The secret that she learned while she listened in with Quinn earlier, it's deeply fascinating her to a point where she feels like it's problematic. And so she doesn't say anything to Cal about it and blows it off like there's nothing going on, which feels like something she should be doing. She feels invigorated by keeping the secret, but at the same time, it makes her feel terrible. So she's developed this fascination with keeping secrets, and she never thought about that before. She was very upfront for most of everything, and it seems to really, really be something she's interested in now.
Would I have any idea that Vora is keeping this from me?
Go ahead and make a insight check. And you can make a deception check.
Who, me?
Vora, however, because of the nature of what you are hiding, you can make it with advantage.
Oh, nice. That's great that I can make it with advantage.
Keeping secrets of secrets.
Okay, so I got, my higher one was a 12.
And yours, Jack?
16.
So she is definitely hiding something from you, but it seems extremely important that it remain hidden.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask her a thing about it.
Right.
I am going to try to forget that she's not telling me everything.
Sure.
Yeah, that's it. That's how I'm living my life. A couple times I've gone out with Lorelei, and she has cast breathe water on me, and we've gone exploring animals and grottos and things underwater. A few times Asol has bamfed me from portals across the land to go do some jobs that I've got to do. So I'm keeping in touch with everybody. I forgot Gil. What do we say we were doing together?
Gil, presumably after the play or just at any time, noticing that you were picking up odd jobs, would have hired you for a job as an excuse to take you on a tag-along, like, buddy cop duo shitty film journey. And would have asked you to accompany him to a dig site or a ruin that he got wind of. Just so that you could come with him so he wouldn't be alone, and so that if any scary monster popped out, that you would have fun punching it and he would have fun reading and digging.
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to do that. I will do some exploring of my own when we're in these caves and ruins, and I refuse to take pay. I don't need anything.
He pays you in a favor. He owes you one.
All right. Perfect.
Yeah, you do, buddy.
Well, given that this is part of the exploration, and also, Vora, you talked about wanting to check out the local flora and fauna and get a lay of this city and whatnot. those that have adventured out in this way would have learned the following. The name Neverwinter came from its gardens, for Neverwinter's gardeners were acclaimed throughout the realms for keeping their gardens growing and flowers blooming even through winter snow. This was also the source of the city's moniker, the City of Skilled Hands. Others, however, believed the city was named for its unusually warm climate and how its harbor remained ice-free in the winters. Neverwinter stands on the northern Sword Coast on the high road between Waterdeep and Luskan, specifically between Lelon and Port Last. To the east lay the Neverwinter Wood, and at its heart the volcanic Mount Hotanau. The Neverwinter River is heated by fire elementals living underneath the volcano before flowing through the forest and to the city. It carries its supernatural warmth with it, keeping the river and harbor from freezing up in the winter and the gardens green year-round. The heat given off by the river creates a permanent warm climate in the immediate area. Common trees in the area are oak and pine trees throughout the forest nearby. Some special trees is the Shedderin tree, a highly valued species of tree found only in Neverwinter Wood, sought after for crafting high-quality bows and crossbows. Other plants are white thistle shrubbery. This abundant shrubbery is infamous for causing severe gastrointestinal distress if consumed. And corpse flowers and shambling mounds, these unusually potentially dangerous plant-like creatures can be found in the woods nearby. Normal flowers, fruit-bearing trees, and berry bushes are also present. Fauna, common animals, squirrels, wolves, and insects are common inhabitants. Larger animals, bears and moose can be found. There are even dire wolves and dire bears in the area. And the aquatic life, Neverwinter, warmed by Mount Hotanau, supports diverse aquatic life, including various types of cobras, cougars, deer, and dire rats, along with sharks and seagulls. Neverwinter Wood is also known for a population of fae. Undead shark and bear, a rare and unsettling creature, is found in the forest, and many lycanthropes, wyverns, and various humanoids exist throughout the area.
Did you say a shark and bear?
Yes, an undead shark and bear?
That's correct.
I would like to think maybe we encounter one of those.
The rare undead shark and bear.
Undead shark and bear.
What the?
I'd like to think we don't encounter an undead shark and bear. I would like to never
Laura's
encounter an
befriended
undead
one.
shark and bear.
Are they stunnable?
Yes.
Then it's
Then
over.
we've probably encountered them.
Yeah. I will collect what I need on our journey, collect some diarrhea plants for both Kaylin and Vora, etc., etc.
Excellent, excellent.
Okay, an undead shark and bear exceeds my expectations in every way.
Is it awesome?
It's an undead bear with sharks sewn to its arms.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
that's not what I was picturing. Wait, that's
Me
awesome.
either.
Oh my goodness. That's terrible.
Some necromancer got into Vora's mushrooms.
Vora's mushrooms. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Wow.
All right. So before the play at Calistric's compound, Gil, you also have been doing tons of research.
Yes. I most certainly have.
Is this something that you're going to divulge to the group, or are you going to wait till it comes about?
I think it'll be best if we wait. I think I have what I need, and when the time comes, it will be very fun to engage.
Well, one of the things you also inquired about was trying to make contacts with local wizards in the area. And you did find out that in Neverwinter there is an Order of the Many-Starred Cloak, which is a mage's guild of sorts. The Many-Starred Cloak, sometimes called the Order of Many-Starred Cloak, is a guild of arcane magic users in the city of Neverwinter. They are known as a band of mages who dedicate themselves to Neverwinter and who help to defend the city and support its rulers with their spells. The guild's headquarters is found at the Cloak Tower, which serves as their meeting place and seat of power, and as their fortress if they were to need to defend themselves. It's located in Neverwinter's Castle District. Dagalt Neverember, the man who hired you all, has a very close relationship with them. So you would have learned that bit of information about them.
I think in that information, Gil would have sought out a relationship with them, but not a joining. He doesn't want to commit himself to this place at all, but he likes the idea of a wizard's guild.
Gotcha. Basically saying, I see you, you see me, I'm here, we know each other, but
yeah,
gotcha.
We can share notes.
Right. They're obviously interested in a new wizard who has set up a house in town, right? So they would definitely be concerned about that. So, all right. Looking at my notes. Covered that. Assault. Your bastion actions. You had your garden make 4 potions of healing. Your greenhouse made 4 potions of greater healing. Your sanctuary made 4 holy symbols, and you crafted sending stones, wand of magic detection, staff of the python, and a ring of water walking, costing you a grand total of 800 gold.
Yes, which I currently do not have.
You should have had 1,000 from the last mission.
Okay. So I should be at 1,723.
And then, that's on my other server. That's why you don't have it.
Heard that.
So,
yes.
So if you wanted to spend the 800, you would have been able to get all of those things. The potions and all are created at 0 cost.
Correct. And I already have potions. I'm just adding to mine.
Right. I'm going to hold off on putting these items onto your character sheet till I'm back on my other server next session. Just
understandable.
I've got it all in a document. So.
Yep. I would also want to get rid of some of the items that I do currently have, whether through Kalen, but I don't know if he's able to sell magical items yet.
Oh yeah. Both Kalen and Gil have means of which to sell.
I have this set of demon armor that I would be very intentional with not trying to hide what it is.
So you want them to shop the right buyer.
Yes. Give this to someone that is not intending to fight any demons.
Right.
Other than that, I also have the golden helmet that we found down in the tomb. That is worth some money. The necklace of adaptation. The rope of entanglement are the 4 items I would like to get off of my character sheet.
Okay.
Unless anyone else has any need for any of these.
What were they again?
The demon armor, plate armor, the golden helmet, the necklace of adaptation, and the rope of entanglement.
What does the necklace of adaptation do?
Requires attunement. When wearing it, gives you advantage on saving throw against harmful gases and vapor, and makes it so you can breathe normally in any environment.
I'll take it. Breathing normally in any environment is very useful for a spellcaster.
Not so much for a vampire.
Exactly.
Yeah, not so much for the guy that doesn't need to breathe.
So if you placed it in the party sheet, I will... Oh, can I drag it from there as well?
You should be able to, yes.
Yes, I could. Oh, well, it looks strange. Fauna Soul Party
While
Necklace.
we're taking care of some other business, Vora, your bastion actions, your sanctuary made druidic foci, and you sold some of those.
3 of them.
your garden collected a bunch of rations and then switched over to a different type of garden. So you didn't say whether you wanted to sell those rations or just share them amongst the group.
I didn't want to share them. I wanted to. I mean, sell them. I did want to.
You wanted to use them, yeah. Have everybody have them. Okay, great. And then
But I
you
don't
got
tell anybody
two.
because I'm keeping secrets.
Gotcha. So basically, you just got food stashed for people that you're going to hand out later. Got
Laura
it.
is the prepper of Neverwinter, so.
Right, right. You also have 2 potions of greater healing, and then 2 poisons of truth serum. One of truth serum, one of malice.
Mm-hmm.
And then you bought some horses for your stable.
Horses.
Excellent.
Kitty was lonely. She needed 4 friends.
Excellent. And then Gil, you did a bunch of research that we're not talking about, but you also traded some gear and made some coinage. But then you bought a bunch of scrolls. So
Lorelai, here's a scroll of sending.
oh yeah, he made you a scroll of sending, Lorelai.
I think you asked for that like a while ago.
Yes, thank you. I need that.
And you have a scroll of Fireball, Chromatic Orb, and Dragon's Breath. Those cost you 425 gold, but you made 800, so you have a net gain of 375 gold.
Okay. And how much would it cost to copy those into my spell book?
We will have to look that up.
We'll figure it out. That'll be a later.
Yeah, you can look that up on your time. Yes.
One thing, the way that this connection to Vecna has affected a soul,
Yes.
is more personality-wise than physical. You've noticed a soul is a lot more anxious and protective over everyone. He follows a god that prides itself in seeing everything, and we are currently encountering a god that is the god of secrets. And so this is kind of, the devil to my god that we are kind of facing here in a lot of ways.
Right.
I'll piggyback off of that and say, because I forgot to mention it earlier, Gil's sort of change doesn't entirely seem noticeable, but Calistrix, you might have seen it while you were out working with him. He seems incredibly intent on keeping every secret, no matter the size. He just... If someone told him gossip and said not to say anything, he holds to it. And anytime he would cast a spell, there would be maybe an eye or two just hidden in the runes somewhere.
Okay. I probably would have noticed that.
Nice. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to say this is a good time for a quick break to refill our drinks and go to the bathroom before we come back for the theatrical event at Calistrix compound.
Yay.
Fun. Nuts? Say it. Say it. Hello?
Hey, everybody,
But-
we are back. We are Dicey Decisions,
Stolen.
and this is our Twist of Fate campaign. The heroes have been spending time throughout the year, getting some personal stuff taken care of, doing some research, having their bastions built. They all have their homes and whatnot. We're tying up a few more loose ends here. A soul.
Yes. So I know you had mentioned that I crafted the four holy symbols. They are purposely crafted for each of the remaining party members who don't have one, which is the first one is for Kaylin, and it all of them are the same tiara that you see as Soul wearing, made for the size of your head. And yours actually depicts, instead of the raven skulls that a Soul's has, yours actually depicts dancing fairies. And then with the holy symbol of the Lady of Pain on the front. Lorelai, yours are your silver tritons line the tiara. Calistrix, yours are actually glass vials that are miniature hourglasses for when you are meditating. And Quinn, yours dictate the phases of the moon, and behind the Lady of Pain is the full moon.
Does mine have the Lady of Pain on it?
All of them do have that centerpiece of the Lady of Pain.
Okay.
He's trying to convert y'all.
A soul would not expect you all to wear them as tiaras. If you would like it as a bracelet, a rosary, a whatever form you would like it, he is happy to adjust it.
Okay.
So
I'm
Kaylin
just
would
gonna- Go
have
ahead.
them be rings in the hilt of a dagger. Like they jingle on one of the daggers.
Nice.
Quinn will absolutely wear a tiara.
He will.
So will Lorelai.
I'm gonna leave mine out in my meditation area so I can flip it every day.
You'll never know what mine is.
It's up your butt everywhere, always.
Wink. It's a bookmark.
Right.
Awesome.
Just
All right, so-
sitting on the top of the tower.
So the day of the theatrical event has come. Lorelai, you mentioned wanting to stop over at Kaylin's.
Yeah, Lorelai would come over to Kaylin's. She has like a small wrapped cloth in her hand as well. She'll like wiggle his
There's
wagon
a
flap.
bell you ring. Yeah, there's a
Okay.
bell.
She'll like ring the wagon bell.
So when you ring it from around back, Kaylin has a wheelbarrow, and it's full of tomatoes. He wheels it around.
What are you doing?
Getting ready for the play.
Oh. That's funny. That's actually why I came over.
Oh, did you need to borrow some tomatoes?
No. I
Okay.
was gonna ask if you wanted to go to the play with me. 'Cause I don't really want to go per se, but I feel like it'd be more fun if we went together.
Yeah. You know why I'm bringing tomatoes, right?
No.
Well,
Did you get hungry?
no. Well, you know how I'm really good at throwing daggers?
Yeah.
Guess how accurate I can be with one of these tomatoes
You're gonna throw tomatoes at them?
when the performance is bad. I mean, if the performance is bad.
Can I try?
Absolutely.
She'll just grab a tomato. And
Kevin will walk 50 paces out and just
she'll yuck the tomato at him.
Give me a dexterity check.
Are they soft
okay.
and squishy, like half rotten?
Oh yes.
A 15. Probably doesn't hit your armor class.
No.
But it's not far off.
Ooh, okay. I mean, maybe like the splash of the tomato.
Yeah, just splashes up a little bit. Yeah,
Good
like
enough.
that. The goal is to not actually hit the performers. You don't want to injure anyone, but you want to embarrass them so that they don't act so poorly.
Oh, you
That'll
should
work.
have probably told me that beforehand, because I was fully imagining you pelting them in the noggin with these things.
I mean, you can. It's just a form of reinforcement. It really helps them become better actors.
I feel like I don't believe that. But whatever you say, I mean, you're the performer.
Eh,
I mean, you've been around performers.
my whole life.
Yeah, so you would know.
Yes, I know that this is going to be very disrespectful, and they'll probably never invite me again.
Calculated.
Mhm. Yes, I would love to go to the play with you.
Okay. And I promise I didn't bring this as a bribe. But I made you a thing. So here, and she'll like hand him the wrapped package.
But it's Asol's birthday. Anyway.
It's his birthday? Oh fuck, I don't have a gift for him. Can I have a tomato?
I don't actually know. He didn't know when his birthday is either, so I just said I'm assuming that every day is Asol's birthday until it actually is.
I mean, I guess you're right. Once every year.
Whatever number of days there are in a Faerun year. Okay, I'll unwrap the cloth.
And so like when you unwrap the cloth, it's a super like detailed and like super clean dagger that has like kind of like little whimsical like swirls around the hilt and is wrapped in a like jewel toned green leather on the handle, and it is, I gotta remember what it's called. I think it's some sort of poison dagger.
Dagger of venom.
Yeah. So it's a dagger of venom, and she'll like explain kind of what it does and all that.
So he reaches behind and takes the dagger out of the sheath that sits in the nape of his neck, and just throws the dagger into the dirt and replaces it with that one.
Wait, is that the really cool one though?
No, that was just a spare one.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because the really cool one's still really cool. This one's
yeah,
just like if that one does that thing where it goes away.
Oh, and he opens his vest and it's just lined with daggers.
Do you normally just carry a bandolier of daggers on you?
Do you not?
I don't think I have a single dagger on me.
Oh, it reaches down, pulls the one out of the dirt. Here you go. Flips it around and hands it Handle first.
Oh, just kidding. I have 2 daggers.
Now you have 3. You're 10 short, 11 short now of me.
Anyways, I thought that would be cool for you to have. But yeah, so I will
I
see
can't wait to
tonight.
stab somebody with it.
Not the performers though. Tomatoes only.
Correct. I will not throw daggers at the performers. I can't make that promise. If they turn out to be some kind of shapeshifters that attack us, or cultist of Vecna, I'm going to throw daggers at them. But in the unlikely case that they are not any of those things, I'll stick to tomatoes. But I have a feeling we're gonna get cultists.
So
Lorelai's just gonna like sprint after like they say bye and everything, and like he can't see her anymore. Lorelai's just gonna sprint to Vora's house. Be like,
I'm starting
Vora!
to wheel the whole wheelbarrow of tomatoes that I purchased all the way across town because I literally live on the opposite side of town.
I'm gonna open
Flora.
the door. Yeah. What? Come in. Come in. Come in.
Run inside. Can you make me look pretty?
Well, you already are beautiful.
That's not what I fucking mean, and you know it.
I'm gonna take her down to Audra in my garden. She's all about the pretty things and the flowy things, and she gives her a tropical drink with a little umbrella in it and sets to decorating her hair with flowers from my garden. From the greenhouse. Sorry, not the garden, the greenhouse.
Is this one spiked?
Probably.
Oh, everything I drink here is spiked. You enjoy it.
Hell yeah.
So
And she'll just chug it.
My greenhouse is actually half of my house is it's inside and then it goes to the outside. So we didn't really go out to the greenhouse. We just kind of turned left in the house and we were in the greenhouse kind of thing.
Oh, fun.
So.
And she says, "Oh, I'll help you." And she sits you down and she starts weaving flowers into your hair and just pretties you all up.
And the moistness probably keeps the flowers nice and perky.
There you go.
Audra is very matronly.
Is it salt water or fresh? Do you know?
I don't know.
She
Because
doesn't
it could
pour-
kill those
she
really
doesn't
fast.
hurt herself.
Caitlin will find out later.
Wow.
Quick clarification for the show. We are told to get there at 4.
Yes.
The show starts at 4?
Didn't say when it started on the invitation.
Okay. We are supposed to be a part of it, right?
Didn't say that on the invitation either.
Okay. Cool. Just said show up at 4 for the show.
Yes.
Assault really is worried.
Assault shows up, and behind him is Morpheus and Tara, dressed in their Sunday best to come see the show.
All right. This is your gardener and your greenhouse, right?
Yes, the married couple.
The married couple. Okay, so you guys see a snake-headed Yuan Ti in overalls, but the overalls have been obviously cleaned recently. And you then see a Triton with also wearing overalls and her hair in pigtails, and her overalls have been obviously cleaned recently too. That's the best dress they have.
Yes.
But they're super excited to get to go see a play and are wondering what the whole evening is going to entail. You could tell they don't get out much.
It's very similar to the vibe of Asol brought his southern hick cousins
Right.
to the play.
Right. Yeah. They're all wide-eyed and looking around and just don't quite, fit in at all. But they're happy to be there. Very happy to be there.
I didn't upgrade my thought.
So is there anything else anybody else wants to do before arriving?
Vora's gonna send Lorelai on her way once she's had a nice beverage and have been all flowered up. And she's going to gather up Alice and Audra and have them accompany her to the Balban, and Laris don't want anything to do with that.
So you see Vora show up with a large woman in a very bright colored muumuu holding a tropical drink, and the tiniest, cutest little girl goblin, also in overalls, but they have been cleaned and are nice. And they actually know the two guests that Asol brought because they both work in the same kind of field. They're both gardeners. They're all gardeners. So they immediately sit with them and are super excited. However, when you arrive there at 4, there's no audience yet, and the 4 performers, one of which is a dwarven male, another is a elven female, a half elf male, and a human female. The human female has got stereotypical black hair, too much eye makeup, obviously brooding demeanor. And the oh no, it wasn't an elven male, it was a drow male. That's what it was.
I think one of them tiefling.
Or tiefling, that's what it was. Tiefling male.
Even broodier.
No, he's actually quite vibrant. And they all approach you all and they say, "Oh, we have your. I didn't know there would be other guests here already this early, but you, and they're pointing at all of you. I have your scripts backstage. Please come.
Scripts?
Our what now?
Your scripts for the play. You come learn your lines."
At the sound of that cackle, I will whirl around and just sort of like stare at Calistrick.
They did not invite me to participate. This should be fun.
Well,
I'm going to go.
I will notice the very large wagon of tomatoes and sort of cock an eye at Kalen and be like, those seem a little less useful now, huh?
Nope. Now I'm closer.
Gil will
Okay.
sit up with an entertained smile and go, I hope I get to play the warrior.
Lorelai, you look very nice.
Thanks. Are you gonna throw a tomato at me?
Are you a bad
Yes.
I'm gonna lean over to Lorelai's ear and go, he can't throw it at you if he's in the play.
I beg to differ. He's closer. You saw how far he can throw a dagger at somebody accurately. Imagine just standing right next to you. He's just going to smash it in my face.
I don't think it works like that, but we'll see.
I probably deserve it.
No, you don't.
So they bring you all backstage. Is anybody refusing to perform?
I'm just shooting
Absolutely
daggers
not.
out of my eyes at
All right.
Cal.
I didn't do it.
They hand you your scripts, and all of a sudden, as you start to read the lines and look over your script, you realize you're all playing each other. Vora, you are playing Asol, you are playing Gil, you are playing Kalen,
Oh, God.
Kalen, you are playing Lorelai, and Lorelai, you are playing Quinn, and Quinn, you are playing Vora.
I get to be tricksy and small.
I cast Greater Illusion and become Vora.
There you go.
I was going to say, I cast disguise self and look like Gwen. But I can't change my size, I don't.
Yeah.
I reach in.
I cast Major Image and basically just become Vora.
I reach behind me to my water sack and just pour it over my head.
Damn. Fucked up.
Damn. Nice.
I squat.
I would say that I cast conjure animals and conjure an elephant, but I'm not going to do that. So.
Racist.
I said it
It's
wasn't
gotta
going
be.
to.
So had I really thought about this through, I would have actually written a script for you all and made you all perform. However, the mechanic that works in the theatrical event is that anyone who participates in the play has to make a performance charisma check.
Oh boy.
And if
Great.
you exceed a 15, you get a success, and it's a group effort kind of thing. So these are performances. If there's anything special you want to say about your individual performances, you're welcome to do that. Those that used spells get to roll with advantage.
The
Hell
good thing
yeah.
I'm casting enhance ability.
There you go.
I just
I will
imagine my
also cast
disguise.
enhance ability.
Hold on, I gotta look at my spells. I know I've got something. Hold on.
I'm going to go
imagine
collect
that
about
my
10 of those tomatoes and just hold them in my lap.
He's ready.
my disguise self just looks like a stretched version of Quinn, like when you have a picture in Word and you just like only adjust one side.
Nice.
For clarification, I'm going to cast enhance ability on intelligence, not charisma, to try to put me more in the mindset of Gil.
Nice.
I take 2 socks and put them over my horns.
For bunny ear.
Yeah.
I will cast conjure
Nice.
animals. So.
Yeah. Bring out the elephant. Oh.
That's all I got.
Oh, I actually have alter self that lasts longer. I'll do that one instead.
So you are like spot on, Lorelai. I mean, spot
He's
on.
not Lorelai.
Vora.
Yes, I am. Like you got you. Like there are 2 Voras standing there, like down to. I mean, minus the costume for her performance.
Right.
Oh fuck! I also have alter self.
Well,
I think the stretched out version is funnier, so I'm just leaving it as is.
Yeah,
I'm gonna send.
more amusing.
I'm gonna make motion for little Alice to come over, and I'm gonna tell her to run back to the stable and get Bulbin to come over, and since he's like an animal handler, and I'm gonna conjure an elephant.
You're gonna conjure what?
An elephant.
Okay. All right.
That's fucked up.
now hold on. I have a proposition for you, Vora. Why conjure an elephant when you
I
could be
polymorph.
one?
You know what? You're right. I will polymorph.
Aren't you a druid?
I am. I know I can.
You
wild
could
shape.
You can wild shape.
I don't have that one.
Oh, it might be too.
That's too high of a CR.
Oh, boo.
I know. There's some cool things I can do, but not that one. No, I'll polymorph.
Because I was gonna
Be a
say, because
Tiny,
wild shape you can still
fair-sized
talk.
elephant.
Good. A little anyway.
A soul is immediately before the show is running around backstage panicking, looking for a broom.
You'll find one. That's easy enough to find.
Yeah. I like to think it's a stage push broom though,
Right.
and it's going right between the legs.
Just a
Take one
Kiki's
misstep and that
delivery
thing's
room.
gonna snap, bro.
Awesome.
I would like to rig up a bucket of water.
Uh-huh.
I want to do the scene in Flashdance.
Gotcha.
As Lorelai.
Right.
I don't know what you're talking. I've never seen Flash.
Yes, you do.
You know
On
the scene.
chair,
Hold on.
Water.
The lean back water pool.
Oh,
Answer while
Yeah.
It literally is one of the first things that shows up when you Google it.
oh, yep.
Flash dance.
So when you're ready, I need those charisma performance checks.
Let's see how well we are up to the task. Well, that's accurate. 7.
14.
Oof, 10.
17.
10.
Oh wait, I get advantage.
Yeah. What does
And
he
a
have in
crit
his
fail,
head?
so 10.
25.
It's just a burlesque show.
It's just a Lorelei burlesque show.
Hey, I got 17 and an elephant.
That's true.
The elephant could do the water.
Did you use the elephant's charisma?
You all are probably there are other people that have showed up at the right showtime, so there is an audience there. But you all are having fun making fun of each other so much that the performance is suffering immensely from it. With a couple of standouts, get some applauses.
Tomatoes are flying.
You're loving it because it's your friends doing that.
Yeah.
You absolutely can throw some tomatoes.
It's all inside jokes.
And you see that the four performers, the troupe, as it were, who wrote these dear lines and were expecting this wonderful performance, are absolutely horrified by the display you guys put on, and are very dejected and are going to spend their evening rewriting the script to make it better because they feel like they have failed and everything else. However, everybody does have a good time. Unfortunately, you did not get the winning winning over your crowd, and what that does is it gives you all, whether you rolled the DC or not, would get a D6 to use whenever you want later on. So had you succeeded, but it took more successes than failures. So
it's okay.
Which you did
No
not,
recovery.
but you did have a lot of fun. Now, as the year wraps up, I know there's one thing that Quinn has, but is there anything else anybody else needs to do before the end of the year? Yes.
I need to sneak over almost dramatically to Gil's place and knock on the
All right.
door. But
So
it's going to be
Gil,
under the cover of night. It's going to be very dramatic.
Okay.
I'm going to
go for it.
knock on the door.
You were greeted by a machine man.
Alexander, can I please speak to Gil?
Of course, Miss Bora. Opens the door and lets you in.
You are escorted to the top scribe's room. I am amidst work with my companion Char.
Okay.
We are scribing.
And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make everybody take off their headphones.
Oh.
You overhear Char. You do overhear Char say, "I really don't want to go next time. Maybe we can get somebody else to volunteer."
It was incredibly fun. I think you would enjoy it.
It hurt a lot.
Well, I mean, that's the point.
Sure. All right, headsets off if you're not with Gil.
Okay, you too, DM.
Me?
Yeah.
He's supposed to know everything.
I gotta know.
Oh,
He has to know.
Fine.
He's like Nardwar, but for
Okay.
D&D players.
So I'm going to proposition Gil. I'm going to try to pick Gil's brain to find out. You do all of that time stuff, and
Indeed.
I would like to know if it's possible to. How far back can you go?
Well, Vora, that is a complicated question. One that I am trying zero to answer that question. I have, in my experimentation, made it to the beginning of time itself.
Okay.
The only problem is, before you get antsy, that it's not permanent, it's imprecise, it's lethal, and it's untested.
Okay, why is it lethal?
You could test it if you would like.
That's not I need to.
What is?
Okay, if I tell you this, okay, if I tell you this, do you promise to keep it a secret between us?
You see, there's like a twinge of shock when you say secret to Gil,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes, "You have my attention.
Do I have your word?
You have my word."
Okay. I need to right a wrong caused by me. But it was many years ago.
Lorelei is a companion of ours. Kaelin is a companion of ours. Quinn is a companion of ours. Calistrix, Asol, you are a companion of ours. I would do anything to help my friends, Laura, if I could. You will be the first to know if I make this breakthrough. I promise you that. But just know, the magics I am dabbling with are difficult. But if you believe this is something worth pursuing, I, of all people, have experienced one thing in particular that may interest you.
Go on.
Do you remember back in the dwarven forge under the mountain?
Yes.
In the lands betwixt?
Yes.
The dragon scale, do you still have yours?
I do.
In my excitement, in my youth, I should say, I used mine rather foolishly in an attempt to gain power, in an attempt to gain resource. If you are truly desperate and in need of a cleansing, the dragon can help you where I cannot.
But
and if you believe this,
I don't know that is enough.
Yeah.
you don't know that going back is enough?
We can't go back. There's only a certain amount of time.
What do you mean?
I have to stop something from happening.
If I may remind you, Vora, I went back in time and stayed there permanently and relived and re-met you. You would have all of the time you needed and you would be yourself. It would just be a long wait to meet us all again, and you would have to retrace your footsteps to this very moment like I did.
Drive around in here.
It's worth it if you believe it to be.
It would be so much easier if you could just figure out how to send me back there.
Well, what I'm trying to tell you is there's this guaranteed option or there's the gambler's way. I could do my best to send you where I could try, or you could tough it out.
How about this? Keep me posted on your progress. When you think you have the ability to do it, I'll be your first test subject.
It's a word that I like very much. I will keep you informed.
But you will also keep this between us.
I am going to do so.
Okay.
I will swear to you no promise, but I will keep your secret.
Thank you.
This little.
And I'm gonna. Okay. You can.
And we're back.
Except Jack doesn't see
All
it.
right.
Jack
I realized I wasn't muted that entire time. You probably hear my husband hollering.
Barely.
Not very much.
A little bit, but it wasn't bad.
So then Vora's gonna almost comically secret herself back out and head back home.
Right? Now, was there more?
Yes, there was just one last thing a soul would have done,
Okay.
bookkeeping wise, is he would have cast Hollow on his house. Specifically the one that prevents undead from being raised in the area.
Okay. Cool.
So that's a permanent effect.
Nice. Yes, I know, Gil, you also have been casting Mordenkainen's Private Sanctum on your building, and that has succeeded by the end of the year. However, several of you just on a whim choose to stop by to see Quinn for whatever reason, and he's not around. Everyone else, take your headsets off, and Quinn and I are going to talk for a little bit.
Mm.
So you secure the shift of planes so you can head back to Kryn.
Okay.
What is your plan?
Well, unfortunately, with a very heavy heart, sort of with a glance towards Kendermore, I will make my way to the forest of Wayreth and attempt to secure an audience at the tower.
As you make your way there, you do see the triple moons in the sky. It is the first time you have felt normal in that regard since you have left here. It is good to see that visage. You do see that the other towers around the Tower of Wayreth are ruined still, that it is still just the one standing tower. You are even comforted by the fact that this place is just as war torn as it's always been. You know,
It's just
like
as crappy as I remember it.
right.
Yeah.
You definitely make your way to the tower, and you know that you know who to talk to get an audience. You know that when you last left here, however, you were not an exile, like you can never return, but your chances of advancement were made very clear were nil when
Yeah.
you last left here. But you
Absolutely.
are granted an audience with. Now, are you trying to just reach the Order of Red Robes, or are you trying to reach the whole council?
I mean, if the whole council will listen to me, I would try to reach all of them, but I expect that probably it would just be the Order of the Red Robes that would really take me seriously at first. I don't know. That's your call. I would certainly be trying to get the ear of as many of the masters as possible.
So you would shoot for the actual council.
The council,
So
yes.
what would your pitch to, let's say, their secretary be, as it were, right? Their office person or their front desk person. What would you say you were
Sure.
there for?
Yeah. So I will come in and obviously sort of knowing my place, as it were, right? I will sort of wait to be acknowledged. And then I'll just say, I wouldn't come back here unless it was really, really important, but I need to warn the masters. I think the end of the world is coming again. Again? Again. Yes. The end of the world is coming again. And I've seen it, and I just wanted to make sure that the people that know are ready.
Make me a persuasion check.
Alrighty. That is a 28 with a natural 20. So
That's a great
I
time for a natural 20.
bat
All
my
right.
little eyelashes.
You definitely have this clerk's attention, and they immediately head off to gather the council and get you an audience. You do have to wait a while, of course, but
course.
even in waiting a while, you are there, and you are eventually led into the council. And you know from having been here before, you see robed mages, robed sorcerers, robed casters lining this circular chamber, and you are brought into the center of it. And they sit in clumps where some are in their red robes and some are in their white robes and some are in their blue robes and whatnot. So there are members of all three of the orders here. Speak your peace, little one. You just hear a random voice.
I will draw myself up on my hoopak, all of the 3'7" that I possibly can, and members of the council. The high pitched voice does not lend itself to gravitas, but we'll do
Right.
our best here. Members of the council, I come before you to speak a warning. The bookminder you knew is dead. The lore master has come before you to bring a warning. I have seen him moving in the dark. I have seen the master of secrets. He takes magic. He takes power. And this is the most powerful concentration of magic that I know about. And I just wanted you to know that death is coming. Vecna is moving. And you need to be ready.
As you say that, you immediately get hit with your vision again. Except this time, as soon as it ends, there's another one. And this new vision shows this war-torn landscape and this giant, enormous tree that you would recognize as a Palon tree that is native to here in Kryn. And you recognize not this specific tree, but you recognize its species, and you know that these are highly magical trees. And you see it is torn and rotted and twisted in very unnatural ways. And you know, somehow you know that is connected to everything you are saying right now.
And so I will say, Lunatari made me like this for a reason. There are no other tender that can do what I can do. We're not allowed. You know what the Grey Gem did to us. I am here as a warning. I have seen the Palor tree. It is dying.
You hear
You need to be ready.
You hear another a different, distinctly different voice, but you hear a voice from the council say, "Some would consider the choice of your powers to be an abomination." And you could
Some
tell
would
that some of
consider
the red robes kind of cock their heads at that. They're not real happy about that, them putting you down in that way. So this obviously was coming from someone else.
I will turn and I will look like directly at the black robes and I will say, some would say the same about seeing the third moon. Who are you to question the judgment of Lunatari? I have said my piece. I have warned you. I know exactly what I look like in your eyes, and I have still come here. And I'm going to go back where I came from, and I'm going to do everything I can to stop this, and I suggest you do the same, or the cataclysm comes again.
Another distinct voice.
And I will like,
Yeah, another distinct voice says, "Your portents have been heard. We will take it under advisement."
that is all I can ask the esteemed council. I know this place has very little love for me, but I have a lot of love for it. And I would see it stand when all of this comes to an end. And I will turn around and I will leave the council chamber.
Give me a perception check.
Uh-oh, that's not a good one. Ooh, 18.
You hear some voices whispering along the lines of, This is the third time we've heard this warning. You know, you hear some discussion amongst a couple people that kind of, and you catch that phrase as you're leaving.
Got it.
And you are
Okay.
able to have completed and successfully talked with them. Is there anything else you would do while you were back here?
I would go and I would pay a visit to my dragon friend that taught me magic and just pay my respects, say hello, etc., etc. And then I would probably go where I can't be seen and just look at Kenderhome.
You see
then I would-
see it in the distance, and you mourn that loss yet again.
And then I would return to my tower.
You make it back to your teleportation circle and realize you have done your due diligence in the warnings you have given. Hello. 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 Miller.
Nuts.
Donde está
I
la
heard that one.
biblioteca?
All right.
Aquí.
So eventually, as about a year has passed, you all receive an invitation to Dagult Neverember's birthday bash.
Do I have to perform?
There is no performance. There's no performance. But you are
And put these tomatoes away.
You are definitely the wording of the invitation has a weight of expectation to it, given his stature and everything else. So it is highly, highly, highly expected of you to attend this. His birthday is actually going to be held.
And day as Asol's.
It is the same day as Asol's birthday.
What a fun little lore fact.
Making it canon.
At the same tavern that you all were in when you disappeared from here and came back from here.
That's not ominous.
I've lost the name.
Oh, the same tavern.
And it is Lord Neverember's birthday, or whose birthday?
Yes.
Of course.
Lord Neverember. Cool.
We're at the Flimsy Flagon. I don't know.
The Driftwood Tavern, that's it.
Ah, there it is.
So is there anything you would do to prepare for the party?
I would get my nicest red robe.
Your what?
My nicest red robe.
He's not a wizard. He's not a wizard.
Ah, right. But you must forgive me.
I'll go
As a
over-
poor connotation with my type.
I'll go over to Cal's and tell him he has to make me go.
Can you cast prestidigitation?
Me? No.
Your
Your
headset's
thingy's
up.
down.
Sorry, I was asking if Aura can cast prestidigitation. She said no. So I will say, of course, we must go see little brother. And so I walk us over there so he can prestidigitate us.
Okay.
Yep. I will clean everybody up.
How long
Make sure my top
do
knot
we
has
have
my
to
shiniest
prepare?
keys.
Oh, you would have plenty of time. It's like you'd have gotten the couple days before, so.
I'd try and go find a suitable gift.
I will bring Guinevere with me, and she'll be festooned with florals, thanks to Audra.
Excellent.
If I would
some like illusion magic to like kind of like add some little sparkle, just like little hints of, you know what I mean, just like accentuate the flowers, like just a little bit of light on them, you know, just like
Nice.
best as I can.
I know you had also mentioned his name was like something Dagger.
His nickname?
Daggalt.
Yeah,
is
his
Daggalt is his name. His nickname is Dagger.
Okay.
Like people call him Dagger
probably-
Neverember instead of Daggalt Neverember because he's always to the point, kind of thing.
Gotcha.
probably not to his face.
Using Lorelai's help, if she is able, I want to craft using magic and all that a dagger with a glass hilt, and inside the hilt, I'm going to cast Continual Flame.
Ooh.
I think that's Lemonfoot's specialty. She could probably help you with that. She's kind of like our resident glass blower. So I mean, like if you wanna work with her. Oak Root is still trying to get rid of that third foot. We can't figure it out.
How did it get there?
Don't worry about it.
It's kind of personal.
I can take a look at it. I'm pretty well versed in medical phenomenons.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you were well versed in feet, and then we were gonna have to have another conversation.
I mean, it's not necessarily my specialty. I have feet.
Not fairy feet.
That's true.
And your feet have legs on them.
Yeah, this is just a foot coming out her calf. But yeah, we can absolutely like Lemonfoot can help with that. Pine Nut is also like apprentice glass blower, so she's learning.
Gotcha. Yeah, a soul will work with them to make this gift.
So the time and date of the birthday celebration arrives, and you all gather. As you enter, you realize that the only table available to you is the very table you sat at, and it strikes you all, and all the memories of being sucked into Sigil and all the things that you went through. It's been a year. So that had kind of passed back and away into the recesses of your mind. It all kind of comes up to you as you guys gather your drinks and sit with each other and realize you're right back where you were. And stepping up to the table is a familiar little face. Hey guys, want a fortune?
Punch him in the face.
Do you?
No. It's not Lorelai's
Hold
thing.
on.
She's got frail bones.
Kalen looks across it, was like, no. He stands up and goes, okay, Asol, you're supposed to be in that seat. And he rearranges everyone to the exact positions they were in.
Polymorph into an elephant. No, I'm kidding.
Are you the one that invited us here?
No, I got an invite to the Daggalt's birthday party.
Oh, so you're just here legitimately. This is just a coincidence.
I suppose, but I mean, if you guys want me to read your fortune, I totally can.
I don't like it.
Can I have the bread soup card back?
I don't really know what that means, but sure.
I don't like it.
I'll take a fortune.
Shh.
All right, let's sit down. And as you sit down, he pulls out the deck. As he pulls out the deck and starts shuffling, your world just disappears.
Ah!
And it
Oh.
goes white.
How
And
fun.
as,
Oh no.
And as
I
you
look
come
at
back out of
Kaylin.
it,
We just got roofied.
I had a feeling.
The second time in a year.
I know.
Right on the dot, honestly.
Look at Cal. You made me do this.
Why
You
did
made
you
me
make
do
us
this.
sit in the same seat?
I gotta find it. It's a really well written passage, and now I can't find it.
And then you teleport the end.
Everybody roll initiative.
We're gonna fight Vecna tonight.
Oh no!
What?
do it. Gloves off.
That seems like a terrible idea.
I think we could do it. What? We're level 11? Yeah, we could fucking whoop his ass. It'd be
Here
no
it is.
problem.
With a flash of multicolored light, the world winks out of existence. Nothingness envelops your senses, though you feel the thrum of magic rushing like an electric spark through your veins. As you regain focus, you stand in a plush, candlelit parlor. A stately woman in blue robes leans towards you, her brow furrowed in confusion and concern. In the blurry background stand a frowning woman in a flowing black dress, and a man tugging in confusion at his high collar. I'm sharing a picture with you guys. Hopefully you're actually in Fantasy Grounds still.
No, I can't.
I am.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great.
We actually have been
We
moving.
recognize these people.
Give me a history check.
I can do that.
And if you are from Faerun, or actually, so I know the answer to this. Gil, and that's it. Gil gets advantage on this.
This
Nice.
is racist.
I got a 4.
Check me out.
Oh hell yeah!
team.
26.
This is what I'm.
Me.
29
Wait,
Damn
for a
it!
natural 20.
That's what you're made
I know
for.
exactly who all of these people are.
And their
why don't
social
you say
security
their
numbers.
names?
I don't know who these people are.
What check are we doing? I'm trying to get fantasy.
You don't?
open.
History.
History.
Thank you.
I bet one is Tasha, one is Volo, and
Nope.
one is
One is
Nope.
not
No.
Volo.
I
No.
believe it is Elminster.
Nope.
Gordon
No.
Keenan.
Alminster's old.
Oh
I
no,
think that's-
it's totally that's
No,
totally
Mel-
Melf
Gordon
and
Kanan.
Elf.
So,
Hold on.
Melf and Elf.
Oh.
the-
Oh
Oh,
this
shit.
woman is Lady Illustrial Silverhand.
Oh
Mhm.
shit.
This woman, someone guessed correctly, is
Tasha.
Tasha.
Oh fun.
And this man
Mordenkainen.
is Mordenkainen.
Yeah.
He's
Gil,
hot.
just like from behind everyone else as we all suddenly appear, just goes, fuck.
And,
I mean,
and you hear Mordenkainen go, well, that obviously didn't work. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode.
Damn,
Pipes
the
up, hopefully. Maybe it worked.
fuck.
What a trio. Did we just get isekai'd?
I don't know what that means.
Pulled into a different world.
Well, no, we're still in Faerun.
I guess that's
Yeah.
true.
You don't know that.
Someone-
Fair. Mordenkainen.
They are
those
just
three
from
could
Faerun.
theoretically be anywhere. That's
I was
very
gonna say,
true.
of these three people could be fucking anywhere.
That's a very good point.
2 of them are officially planeswalkers from Magic the Gathering.
Officially
Yeah.
Planeswalkers. Yes.
Yeah, they don't exactly have permanent addresses. That's fair.
I don't
I
know
feel like-
anything about Lady Illustrial.
I feel like they summoned the best people for the job, and we showed up. And they said, well, this
They said,
clearly didn't
"Fuck."
work.
Step away from,
Shit.
like,
No,
being the
they were
goddess
trying
of
to summon
magic.
Vecna. I can almost guarantee they were trying to summon Vecna, and they got
Because
us.
of our connection.
But because of our connection, they got us. That's what my money's on.
Well, we'll
They were
find
trying
out
to
in
summon
2 weeks,
Robolar.
folks.
Smack him
2
out.
weeks.
Oh, another
Fun.
2 weeks?
Yeah, because next week is 4th of July, and I will be driving a truck across the country.
Fair.
A Wienermobile? Are you bringing
Yeah,
hot
I
dogs?
wish.
I'll be behind him.
How about an
Doesn't make it
ice
better
cream
for-
truck?
Where are you going?
I'm bringing stuff back from my mom's.
Oh, okay, yeah.
My car's still up there, so Corin's flying up to meet me so he can drive the car while I drive the truck.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, drive
All right.
safe. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
We'll see you in 2 weeks, everybody. We are Dicey Decisions. This is our Twist of Fate campaign, and Vecna Eve of Ruin has officially started.
I'm not even gonna give you a legume for the way out. You'll have to get it in 2 weeks.
Nice.
We've
Tune in
been
2 weeks to catch your
ruined.
nut.
I'd say we just got our houses taken away from us after a day, but it has been a year, I guess.
Right.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.